Hello, everybody. It is AskPat13. Welcome back to another live stream. If you're watching this after the fact, I hope you enjoy. It's just going to be a recap of the first day of Gamers8. You can skip around as you see fit or watch the whole thing. If you're watching this live, I appreciate you. Welcome aboard. Yeah, we're going to get started. So the day one is over. Let me change my screen. Here we go. We got a sub goal, by the way. So if you are watching this after the fact, we've probably surpassed it, but who knows? If you're watching live, oh, we do got one. Welcome, Funi. Welcome, Funi. Funi, always the first person in the stream, pretty much every stream. So, welcome aboard. You got a new keyboard, nice. Now you can type faster. um, uh, yeah. So welcome. That's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Let me check one thing. I think we're all set. Let's see where my mic's at. Yeah, we should be set. There's a little bit of background noise well, I usually have background noise, but today their TV seems louder than usual. But let me know if you can hear it. It should be fine though. Shouldn't be that loud. I have a filter set up. So, but in the meantime, let's get started. I think people filter in, and we'll just go through the results. I'm gonna talk about all of them. I'm sure people are gonna want to talk about what they want to talk about. You know, their favorite. So let me know in the chat if you are interested in a particular result, and we can talk about it. Today was so painful to watch for Optic. It was. So we are gonna start with Group A. And we'll start with those first two matches. So a lot happened today, by the way, more than would usually happen in an RLCS broadcast. It was a long day. I didn't get to watch pretty much anything live except the very end, Falcons Furia. But let's talk about Optic Gladiators. I saw the score for this. I was very surprised AJ lost his 1v1. So that was surprising. Definitely not something I expected to happen. But they still won the series. But, you know, OSM, to his credit, won the 1v1. So good for OSM. Gladiators couldn't pull it off. And also they did take the first game to overtime. So a pretty close series, honestly. The fact that the 2-3s games were only 1-goal games, and they took the 1v1. And so the only game that wasn't close was that 2v2 Reddles and Magic Bear versus OSM and Flitz. So you like to see it from Optic. Again, close one, but they did win. Where they faltered was the very next round against G2. And that was just a stomp by G2, especially the 1v1. So I think that the other two, all the 3v3 games were 1-goal games for Optic, the ones they won and the ones they lost. They even lost in overtime. So not necessarily a terrible series from Optic. He lost to a content creator. Atomic isn't a content. Oh, you mean OSM? Yeah, OSM is a content creator. That's a good point. But to be fair, OSM has been a pro for a bit now, a whole year. So he is a content creator, but he is a pro. Whether or not even if he's not in a competitive region per se, in APAC, that OSM is still playing like a pro. And what I mean by that is I should say he's practicing like he's a pro. He's practicing every day. So it's not that crazy. What's crazy is that OSM isn't known. I know he's been a ones main in the past, but he is not a current like 1v1er, like doing show matches. Not that AJ is either. But exactly, yeah. AJ has been top 10 in the past in 1v1, so it was kind of surprising to see that for sure. Welcome, Ronald. Welcome to the stream. Oxygen on top. I'm going to talk about that because that's probably the biggest thing I got wrong in my power rankings and my predictions. So I'm going to talk about Oxygen. Definitely a miss on my part. I don't think it was a crazy to predict they would lose to Vitality, but, you know, they beat Vitality. That's a pretty big error on my part where I basically said there was no chance. But let's continue. Let's finish up this topic about not Oxygen. We're on to Oxygen next. About Optic. Really, I guess a lot of it did come down to those 1v1s because they were picking into the 1v1 and they did so twice and they lost both times. So you have to imagine if they picked 2v2, there's a chance they could have won. And yeah, you don't think anyone got it right? That's fair, Ronald. That's fair. I don't think anyone did either. But if you told me AJ was going to lose both the 1v1s today, I would have said you're crazy because that's just surprising to see. The good news for Optic is it's not over, except it is. And I'm going to explain why. I mean, it's probably loomingly obvious. Vitality lost Oxygen. That means that Vitality is in lowers. So Optic's chance of progressing to playoffs has gone from low to almost zero. Because now, if Vitality beat Gladiators, which I think we can all agree is fairly likely, Optic, even if they beat Ground Zero, are going to run into Vitality. So really rough time. That match against G2 might be pivotal because even if G2 loses this, I mean, that's the point. G2 now gets 2 chances to go to playoffs, and Optic might not get any if they can't get past Vitality. So a very rough time. AJ needs to step up. Oh, for sure. He's going to have to win the 1v1. I'm assuming if they beat Vitality, it's going to go to 5. And if we look back at what happened in the Oxygen series, Oxygen won the 1v1. I think beating Zen in the 1v1 is how you beat Vitality. Oxygen would not have won if Jorias had lost there. So, and I think it's going to be the same deal for Optic. There's no way they beat Vitality if they don't take the 1v1 versus Zen. They have to. Because, like, Vitality's always going to take at least one 3v3, and they're probably going to take the 2v2. And that's exactly what happened with Oxygen. They took one 3v3 game and the 2v2. So the way Oxygen won is they just managed to beat two times. They beat Vitality in 3v3, which that's pretty much all, not all they had to do. Obviously, that's a lot, but they did it. So congrats to Oxygen. I mean, that's a really good showing for them. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but let's finish up. Yeah, really Optic. They're going to have to step it up, not just in the 1v1s, but in the 3s as well. That the series against G2 could have been a lot closer. They could have taken at least one of those games there. Welcome, Chicken, Chubby Chicken 21. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you're new or returning. Either way, welcome. We're talking Gamers8. We're discussing day one results. So we did this side. Let's talk about the upper half, though. Especially, we'll start off with the Ground Zero Oxygen. Because if you told me that Ground Zero took a game off Oxygen, I thought they would have no chance of Vitality. I already didn't think they had a chance. But they dropped a game to Ground Zero. That was not a guaranteed thing. So they didn't even have a clean series against Ground Zero, and they come out in the very next, round and absolutely smash a lot of people's brackets with this upset here. So let's finish this up though. So Oxygen, right? I think they had a good series, but again, they did drop that game. So let's talk about it. They win the first 3v3. Ground Zero picks 2v2, probably because they think it's better than the 1v1. And they probably were right. I mean, you don't want to play 1v1 versus Jorius if you don't have a ones main. But I still think 2v2, I don't know. I feel like 1v1s, there's more likely to be upsets. 2v2, you're kind of picking into what Oxygen, like to play. So I don't know for sure if that was a good call. They do lose the 2v2, but good thing for Ground Zero is they do turn it around in that game 3, and they managed to win a 3v3 game. So I would have been interested to see how this would have went, and if it was all 3v3s, maybe Ground Zero take another game. They did take Karmine Core to game 5 in a best of 5 that was, a 3v3 in the spring major. So Ground Zero maybe would have had a better chance if this was just 3v3. But when you throw in the 2v2 and especially that 1v1, Super Lucky had no chance. So, and then, speaking of no chance, I underrated Oxygen. They came into this Vitality match and they showed up. Yes, they lost that first 3v3, but Jorias, he picked his battle against Zen and he won it. They chose the 1v1 and he delivered. It was a close game. We might watch that back, actually. A 1-goal game at the end. I'm curious how that ended. I didn't get to see it live. Mystic says he knows why Vitality lost. Why did Vitality lose, Mystic? I believe they lost... I was going to say something stupid, like, they lost 3 games. Duh. No. But what I mean is, I think they lost because they lost the 3v3s. They split, Vitality won the 2v2, Oxygen won the 1v1, but either way, Vitality, all they had to do was just win. If they won all the 3v3s, they would win, and they could easily sweep Oxygen. I'm pretty sure they've done it before, and they didn't. They had to do it, and they just didn't do it. So, Oxygen showed up, and Vitality didn't. It's part of the script. Oh, you already posted. It was this in your bracket? That's funny, if that was in your bracket. I'll have to check your script after. For anyone that isn't aware, I should post these now. I have a Discord. That's not the link. 1 second. I have a Discord, and you should join it if you're not in it. We discussed RLCS. People were talking during the games today, Gamers8. So if you're interested in like a live chat environment, that was happening. That was popping. Here, I'll just post it and pin. But that's what Mystic's referring to is we have a Discord that he's posted in. I missed some chat messages, so let me go back. You loved watching the only good Dutch player at Gamers8 perform. Who is Dutch? I should know. Is it Jorias? Yeah, Jorias popped off. He really did. So, congrats to him. Again, the Zen, beating Zen, they wouldn't have won the series if he hadn't beat Zen. It was a necessary win, and he delivered. He delivered. So, you'll love to see it. And I don't think he beats Zen, because it's just one game. I don't know if he beats Zen in a series, but the good news is he didn't have to beat him in a series. Everybody knows, it's one game. That's all that matters. And in the one game they got, he showed up. So that's all I had to do. I'll read Mystic. I'll read it later in full. I'll check out your predictions. Mark your words, Vitality gets knocked out tomorrow. I don't know about that. I mean, obviously they have to win 3 in a row, so the odds are much more likely now than if they had won first oxygen. But I'm pretty sure, you know, and Funi, that's a good point. Even if they lose here, for the record, like if they get burned out and lose here, it would be burnout. I shouldn't use quotation marks. If they get burned out, it doesn't diminish their accomplishments this season at all. They still won the world championship and had the perfect split in RLCS. So it's not the biggest deal if they lose here. Obviously, they're going to want to win. It's a lot of money on the line. It's another big tournament. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really diminish what they accomplished. And I would like to see another team win just so we have another winner and it's not Vitality again. But either way, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think if Vitality make playoffs after losing, because this happened in the spring major, but I think if they make playoffs after losing, then they win the whole thing because they really can bounce back from a loss pretty easily. Not easily, but once they bounce back, then they're out. They're on. They don't drop the ball again. You have Mike Boy and Tho, but let's be real. Yeah, Tho isn't winning. Is Mike Boy on his team or is that No, they are on the same team. So it is Yeah, they're probably not. They're probably not. I mean, they didn't look terrible against version 1, although that one's game though, that was pretty bad. They didn't look terrible against version 1, but I don't think they're winning. I don't think they're we're getting ahead of ourselves though. We're still talking about Group A here. Wait, they celebrated for 2 weeks. Mystic says. I don't think they celebrated for 2 weeks, but they probably had a break. A lot of course, it makes sense. If you win the world championship, why wouldn't you give your team a vacation? You earned it, right? So I'm sure they took a vacation. I don't think it was 2 weeks, but even just a few days could be the difference because some of these teams have been grinding for months for Gamers8. So the teams, I mean, that didn't make worlds, especially, were grinding for this event. Much easier to upset in a best 5. Oh, for sure. And crew battle. I think crew battles, I said it in the very beginning. I said crew battle makes it more likely to get the upset. So plot armor broke on that Zen Joy's 1v1. It very well may have. The plot armor might be gone. You'd be sad if Optic win. They play. That's what I'm saying, Chicken. That's why I'm so upset. Not upset that Oxygen. I'm not upset that Oxygen beat Vitality. But as an Optic fan, it makes me sad because that's like the buzzsaw in the lower bracket you don't want to run into. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. How do you feel about monkeys? The animals, not the team. Oh, the animals. The monkeys are nice. They're dangerous though. They're wild creatures. I think who was it? Virtuoso had a tweet where they got the monkey stole their food or they got the selfie. I remember they got the selfie with the monkey. I think it was Virtuoso and a bunch of other players when they went on a vacation or whatever. That was interesting. And if we're talking about the team, I think they played well, but I think it was pretty much as I predicted. I didn't predict them to sweep. I did not predict the sweep though, but against Ninjas Pajamas, but I did think they'd win that. Now, I have Elevate beating them in my predictions in this lower bracket quarterfinal. I don't think it's actually going to happen after how Elevate looked today, but I'm hopeful. I'm an Elevate fan though, so that's complete bias. AJ needs to beat Zen tomorrow. It's not impossible, but he hasn't looked good. Well, that's exactly what I would say, word for word. Not impossible, but he hasn't looked good. Because it's true, AJ is not looking great. I mean, he lost both the ones today, and I know it's just single games, but especially like this atomic scoreline, like 6-1, that's pretty brutal. The game against OSM wasn't necessarily close either, a 3-goal difference there. So he's got to step it up. He's got to step it up. So bad in ones, oh for sure. So I think we will watch back. We're gonna watch back some of those 1v1s. So I don't know what the best way. I'm assuming it's going to be YouTube again. So give me a second. I'll pull this up. We're going to watch just some, like a snippet of each game, probably. Let me get into this. Gamers8. I'm sorry. You can't see it, but I'm going to find the VOD. Because the good thing I like about Gamers8, I was worried they weren't going to do this, is they were live on YouTube as well as Twitch. There's nothing wrong with watching on Twitch. I just prefer YouTube because usually it's better on my internet. I don't know why, but it doesn't lag as much. I don't know if that was on the A stream. It had to be on the A stream, right? Okay, you guys can probably hear that. Let me pull this up. And we gotta find the Vitality series in this VOD. Here we go. Okay, we found it. And this was the 1v1, right? So we're right in the midst of it. Perfect guesswork to get in. Let me read chat a second before we hit play. So, Zen looking horrible probably destroys a near peaking AJ. Exactly, Mystic. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so worried. Because I said it. I genuinely think the only way Optic beat Vitality is if they win that 1v1. They're gonna need to. So it's sketchy. It's sketchy at best. You like AJ's one style, but it'd work horribly. AJ just seems like he hasn't played enough ones. I don't know what happened. He needs to play more. Well, he should have been playing more ones in advance of this, perhaps. Why was there a huge timeout in the AJ Atomic 1v1? I have no idea, but if it was a tech timeout, I'm assuming it was a tech timeout is your answer. So it was a 20-minute tech break. Yeah, I don't know. We can look into it. I have no idea what the cause was. I didn't even watch that live, so I really have no idea. You don't think I don't think you have low latency on for Twitch. As a young man, I am disappointed in your technical ability. Maybe that's a problem. I'll look into that. Joey, thanks for the tip. Booney says, AJ has been grinding 1v1. Has he? I guess, yeah, well, maybe he just hasn't played enough ones in the past year, consistently. Maybe the grind wasn't enough. But speaking of grind, let's watch this series. Maybe we do start it here. So they were okay, I went back a little bit.
Take that goal.
Another good recovery.
Just so we don't get too laggy because I'm streaming. We're just gonna hit 480. I know it's gonna be potato quality. We don't want potato. I'll put it up. I'll bump it up a bit.
Jory is taking a look at Zen. Puts himself back on the ground for control.
This was an interesting one. I think, again, you don't expect Joreuz to beat Zen, but Joreuz is a ones guy, so it wasn't that crazy. It wasn't that.
I was gonna ask, just
are you? Oh, you're actually 50-year-old man. Gotcha. It didn't sound sarcastic. It just sounded. I guess it did sound kind of sarcastic. So look at this from Zen here. Wait, Joey, if you are, that's awesome that you're into Rocket League Esports because it's definitely something that skews younger. But I think it's nice to get people in, lots of people from a variety of backgrounds and ages and places into Rocket League, which is why something I like, and I know in my server it certainly is that Rocket League is so international. So you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. What did Mystics? I have a handful of players were infected by the environment. Maybe. I think the land gets to people for sure, and perhaps travel can get to you as well. Jet lag. I don't know how soon or how long people have been in Riyadh, but if you only recently got there, it's not even that it's in Riyadh. I just mean flying from the U.S. is a long flight. So who knows? But yeah, that's super cool, Joey. Your son taught you how to play the game, but you're bronze. No worries. Everybody starts in bronze. Even if it takes you a little longer than usual, you will get out eventually. Everybody, I would stand by that. You could be 80, 90 years old and you can get out of bronze eventually, for sure. Just if you're interested in improving, I am not the YouTuber for that. I'm only Champ 1, Diamond 3 myself, but there's tons of guides on how to get better. So or if you don't have to, you can just play for fun as well. But all right, Mystic says you like being enervated. Oh wait. Well, I don't know what you mean by enervated, but affected, I assume, is what you mean. Affected by the heat. Was it hot in there? Was it too hot in the venue? Okay, I don't know if the venue is too hot, but look at this Doomsday dish from Zen. That was a nice one there. I will skip ahead a bit because I don't want to watch this whole thing. Maybe I should have stuck with where we started. So here we are. Vitality. Zen, I should say, is up a goal with 2 minutes left, and Joreuz managed to come back from this position. General tiredness. That also, okay, I've noticed that players yawn a lot on land. At Worlds they yawned a lot, at Spring Major they yawned a lot. I even have a clip of Calm yawning in my video that I put out about Gamers8, the power rankings. Calm is yawning in that clip, and that's all the way back from the winter or fall major even. Fall major, I guess it was. So
he just got there. Good recovery from Joreuz.
You prefer commentary, so you're enjoying content? Well, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I don't know if you've checked out. I'm assuming you're probably here for my videos, but I also do videos on this on RLCS, esports, and not just RLCS, but Rocket League Esports. Yeah, so Joreuz is just keeping his composure here.
You're absolutely right.
Almost a goal there. He is going to nab the boost. Something that is important in 1v1s, and I haven't talked about a lot in this channel because this is the first event. It's like a 1v1 that we're really diving into. But boost control and management matters even more in 1v1s than it does in 3s. And I know you think, well, wait a second, in 3s there's less big boost pads to go around. And there are. But in 1s, all you have to do... That's a really beautiful goal from Joreuz. That's correct. Beautiful. In 1v1, all it takes is just getting past you once. So your boost, your individual boost management really matters, and stealing the right boost at the right time can cripple your opponent. So, Zuko, we are going through each group. We're in the midst of Group A, and I'm just watching a few highlights before we move on. But yep, going through each group. We're almost done with Group A. Surely with production, they have AC for says. I agree. That was a close one. So, oh no, Zen. Okay, so I'll pause it here. So Zen, that's a moment. That's a moment where he could have easily won this game, and perhaps the pressure wasn't on Zen because, you know, they're up a game. They have the rest of the series to go. But in hindsight, and I know this is in hindsight, 2020, but in hindsight, Zen maybe shouldn't have been. Well, it is a lot of pressure. I don't want to say it like that, but I hope he was taking this very seriously because, you know, every game in this mode can matter. You have no idea what the other team's gonna do in the future of the series, so you want to take each game at face value. But so let's break that down a little bit. There's not a lot to break down. I think it's just a missed flip.
Gets another kickoff. Joreuz, tough spot. He makes the grab.
So here we go. He's in a tough spot. He has to race back to the ball. You've seen me on the Reddit. Oh, thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. Yeah, I posted some of my videos there. I need to do that more often. But I try to avoid doing that right away because then the traffic can mess with the algorithm. But now that I'm kind of built up a presence here, which is nice. But anyway, and welcome, by the way, any new viewers. If you are new to the channel, I really appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button. Our goal today is to get to 310. I am going to check if we've had an update. But I appreciate anyone in chat either way. You know, if you're just watching, I also appreciate it. You can participate in chat either way. So yeah, let's break this down a little more. So. Here he just misses. He flips past the ball. He didn't have to take that so fast. And yeah, he just missed. Not a lot to break down. He just missed. That's the replay. We'll skip past it. Z Funky, thank you. Yeah, and it was a huge upset, an incredible upset. Welcome to the stream, Z Funky. Why can't you chat? Okay, Ronald. See, the problem, Ronald, is I haven't figured out how to set up a bot yet in my Discord, so I have to do that manually. But whenever I get a moment, which is probably after the stream, if I'm being honest, I'll add you in. So don't worry. I probably shouldn't have even done that at all, but I wanted to combat in case I got like spammed or something. So, but I need to just get a bot. But I'll do that once Gamers8 is over. I'll probably have more time. So, but let's focus back in on this. So Joreuz has that 1-goal lead. Zen doesn't have a lot of time, and he hasn't been able to get the ball. This is his big chance, but he gets bumped. He hasn't. Oh, that's the moment. So that's the moment. Let's watch this back here. He should have scored here. It's not like a perfect example, but Joreuz makes a mistake here, and if Zen had committed right now, it would have been a shot, but instead he flips. So let's watch this first chance back here. After this touch, Zen shouldn't be flipping. I feel like he should be racing to hit the ball again. Because he could have scored. Instead, Joreuz could have won the game here and cleared it. But Joreuz backflipped. So honestly, Zen almost shouldn't have had a chance at scoring at all because Joreuz gave up a chance and then backflipped like again. So Zen got lucky here. He made a mistake. He got lucky, and he still misses. Oh, it's not a pure miss. It is a 50 with Joreuz. Green Vitality. Oh, the color schemes. Don't get me started on the color schemes. So, Gamers8, they have some incredible production value. Like, truly, it is a beautiful stream. But not these colors. Whoever came up with that idea, I wish they just stuck to blue and orange. But even if they had to do green, why would you not pick the green team Oxygen to be green? Don't get me started on the colors. It's just silly. But yeah, Joreuz just 50s it, and unlucky for Zen. But again, he got lucky. He had multiple chances to score in that, even in that brief segment. Now it's 0 seconds. Oh, he misses the catch. So really, this is all on Zen, and I don't want to blame him. It's not his reason. He's not the only reason they lost the series. But this game was in his hands to go to OT, and he kind of just missed like 3 good chances I saw in that last 10 seconds. He also probably should have not even been in the last 10 seconds. But all that to say, a really good series from Joreuz to get himself into that winning position. And yeah, Zen had those chances at the end, but again, Joreuz was the one that took the lead for himself. So an earned victory. I'm just going through all the ways Zen could have won, but are still an incredible series for Joreuz. So that wraps up Group A. If you have any more questions before we move on, let me know pretty quick. So we've talked about Oxygen, Vitality, G2 Optic, Gladiators, and Ground Zero. My predictions, because now I predicted both these teams to lose, so I was completely wrong. But going forward, I would probably say Oxygen, not because G2 is a bad team, but after you beat Vitality, you've got to be on a high note. I feel like Oxygen, they probably feel like they can beat anybody at this point. So I'd probably predict Oxygen and then Vitality from lowers just because you got it. I know some people are already saying, oh, Vitality get out, but you got to pick them. You got to assume they're going to win from lowers. You hate the color scheme, Ronald says. Yep. And then Mystic says Jordy's got the tip. He did get the tip. So for the record, it wasn't actually a Zen miss at the end. It's that he didn't get a solid enough touch through contact. Perhaps it was unscorable, but even if that particular touch was unscorable, I kind of explained why he had a couple chances earlier in that last 10 seconds, and then he had one at the very end when he could have caught the ball at 0 seconds. But anyway, I don't want to. We could break this down forever. It all happened so quick that you can't blame Zen again for those mistakes in the end. But they did cost his team in hindsight. Hindsight 2020, but it did cost him. Just because Oxygen is EU. You're picking Oxygen because they're EU. Gotcha. Yep. I mean, they're a good team. Like I said, to beat Vitality, you gotta be good. It's not even nice green food. He says it isn't. It's a weird. It's like a lime. They could have done a darker green because I heard someone say. I have no idea if this is true. I heard someone theorize on the Reddit that it was green because of the Saudi Arabian flag. And if that is true, which it would be fine if it was, it should have been a darker green because it's not even the same shade as the flag. So I don't think that's why it's green because it's not the same color. But anyway, just a weird choice, but no, not a big deal. We'll move on. So moving on to Group B. And this was a group that also brought me some pain. Not as much pain as probably Optic losing to G2 in the way they did, but I'm an Elevate fan, and I was really disappointed seeing the scores on this because I feel like Elevate could have shown so much more. And I don't get me wrong, I know Twisted Minds is the better team, and I power rank Twisted Minds above Elevate for a reason, but I'm still sad it was a sweep. That overtime easily could have gone Elevate's way. We might watch that back. I only want to watch like one series per each group, so I don't know if we'll do that. Or one game even, really, not even the whole series. So I don't know if we'll watch the highlight of that, but a really disappointing end for Elevate. They had a lot of chances, but they couldn't quite put it through. And yeah, so I guess an explanation, by the way, Elevate did choose 2v2, probably trying to avoid that 1v1 for good reason. And it didn't work out for them. Twisted Minds still dominated. That was the largest goal differential. Twisted Minds won 7-3, so a really dominant 2v2. And they chose Venom in SMW. I thought they might pick Senzo in SMW, but they went with Venom. SMW worked out. And they also won those 3v3s, like I said. Last one, OT. So again, it wasn't a perfect sweep. Elevate did show some promise. They got... Oh, is it blocking the scores? Oh, my apologies. Good call, Ronald. Thanks for the heads up. What can I do? Maybe if I zoom in. Aha. Let's do this. This is even better. And then that works out. Now you should be able to see all the scores. And it's a little bit bigger. Oh, that might be too big. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we'll do this. Hopefully that's okay. 15 people? Wow, do we have 15 people here? Thanks for the call out, Daniel. Welcome anyone that's new. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you're enjoying the stream. If you are, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing is the #1 way to help me grow. And I have a subscriber goal of 310. Hopefully we hit it today. We've actually hit subscriber goals most streams, which I really appreciate all support. We did get one, so thank you to whoever subscribed. I really appreciate it. Let me update that real quick. We're up to 306. Slowly but surely, we will get there. In the meantime, I missed a bit of chat, so let's get back to it. And Zuko said, Ninjas in Pajamas getting swept was surprising. I agree. I predicted Monkeys to win, but not in a sweep. We'll talk about this one next. What if Booney said they need to give a seizure warning for the player intro? Was it like lights? I think they did have a lot of strobe lights. Maybe they should have. That's definitely a move I've noticed in a lot of esports productions is to go towards all the lights and stuff. Oh, well, thank you, Roblox teaching channel. What a name, but I appreciate it, Roblox. I appreciate it. Welcome, Kirby. Welcome to the stream. And also welcome, Roblox. Oh, I'm sure you've been here. So I appreciate everyone in chat. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, let's talk about this Ninjas in Pajamas Monkeys. Ninjas in Pajamas is a good team. You would think they would take a game, but I think this just goes to highlight, because I mentioned it when I was doing power rankings. I had Monkeys quite high. I actually think I had them above Ninjas in Pajamas, and that's for a reason. They're a really good team. Raziers carried Heat. Well, it wasn't a solo carry or anything, but the team Raziers was on last year got, I think, top 8 at Gamers8, perhaps top 4. I know they got at least, no, yeah, it was top 8. They made it to playoffs. So Raziers has experience in this tournament in particular, and Monkeys managed to pull it off. Again, not crazy that they won, but I was surprised it was a sweep. And I think something to note especially is that they won the overtime. So obviously, 2 overtimes, but you think in those 2 chances that you would pick Nip to win one of them. I mean, they have all the RLCS LAN experience that Monkeys don't have. Raziers has been to one of these before. He went to last year's Gamers8, as I mentioned, made playoffs, but his teammates have not. Maintain hasn't been to an RLCS LAN since last season. I think since last season. And Smokes has never been. This is Smokes' first major LAN. So big props to him for holding up his end. Monkeys, they take the sweep over Ninja's Pajamas. And again, close series, 2-goal game in game 1, 2 overtimes. But Ninja Pajamas can't close it out. You've got to be hitting those shots. And in fact, I think this will be our first series where we look at the stats. Sorry to blind anyone. It's going to be white. This will be the first series. Let's look at the stats for this. So I have, by the way, anyone that isn't aware, this is called octane.gg. It is a website where you can look at the stats of the matches. And I'm going to look at, in particular, this Monkeys matchup, because I am curious if any of the Ninja Pajamas players underperformed. And something I always look at is shooting percentage. And what do you know? Mata had a 0% shooting percentage. I'm sorry, Funi. I need to figure out dark mode on Octane. Maybe it has an option. You think you wouldn't watch Gamers8 if you have epilepsy? Too much risk? Oh, it might be. If that is true, that's not good. Hopefully they fix that in the future. There's ways to get around it and still have, flashy lights and stuff. What do I think of Gen G Roblox? I like Gen G. I think I predicted them top 4. We can really check. We can check real quick. I was going to talk about my predictions in the end, but yeah, I predict they're going to make top 4. That could be wrong, but so far so good. The reason why is I think they're a really solid all around team. I think they have 1s, 2s, and 3s. So for this game mode, I think they can take it. But yeah, let's get back in. Sorry, to the stats. That was what I wanted to look at, and I've highlighted this in previous when I talk about RLCS. 0% shooting is never a good sign. If a team has a player that shot 0%, they usually lose. Well, this is just coming anecdotal, but I've been looking at these now since the spring major. I've done these recaps, and whenever there's a player with 0% shooting, that team that has that happen, they almost always lose. I've seen one instance, a single series, where a player had 0% shooting and their team still won in the RLCS level. How do you get predictions, Kirby? There's a guy named Adam Core. He has a Twitter, Adam Core. You can look him up. It's just like Adam, like ATOM, and then CORE on Twitter. And he does all these prediction spreadsheets for pretty much every event. So super good. Welcome, Jay. Welcome back to the stream. Ronald says Carmine. How do you get? I don't know what you meant by that, Ronald, but yeah, Carmine Core. They're looking good. We'll talk about them in a second when we get to the next group. But yeah, welcome, Jay. Okay, but really quickly to wrap this up, 0% shooting is an incredibly poor sign from a team, from a player on a team, and it really is indicative of why they lost. Now, he only took 2 shots a game, but I say only. That's pretty much a third of Ninjas in Pajamas shots, so pretty rough. And yeah, his teammates shot well, but as a team, that 0% sunk them down to 15% about compared to 20% shooting for Monkeys. I think the real reason they lost the series, though, I was about to get into it, is the shot differential. 12.5 shots to 6.5. So Monkeys put up a lot of pressure, an insane amount of pressure compared to Ninjas in Pajamas. And that's probably why they won. I'd have to go back. Obviously, a big amount of goals, big amount of assists. And Ninja in Pajamas were getting a lot of saves, but 7 saves wasn't enough when they're putting on 12.5 shots a game. That's just a lot of shots a game. You just like Carmine Core? Okay, yeah, great one, Ronald. They're a fun team. They're a fun team. No assists either. Well, yeah, no assists. No. Oh, I guess no offense output at all. He did have a save a game, but actually, wow. Wait a second. I didn't look at his rating. That is one of the worst ratings I have ever seen for an individual player. And yeah, it was only 2 3v3 games. By the way, because this is different than usual, they're omitting the 2s and 1s games. So Octane is only giving us the stats on the 3v3. So we ignore the 2v2 here. Mata probably scored a goal in the 2v2. I don't know for sure. But it's just ignoring that game. So a really poor showing for Mata. It has to be said. You don't get a .276. That never happens. I mean, if we even look as an example, in the Pioneer series versus FaZe, everyone was above 1.0. So a very different, very different scoreline there. And then if we have to talk about it, Bems was carrying for Nip, and on the other side, Smokes didn't have a great game, but still better than Mata. He's putting in half a goal a game. He has a save a game, so just better than Mata by pure fact that he was hitting some of his shots. Liquid or Oxygen, Ronald says. Liquid are like Oxygen, I assume is what you meant. Only good Dutch player in RLCS. Gotcha. What other teams do you like? Oh, you were answering Jay's question. Gotcha. And then Chubby Chicken says, I'm praying on version 1's downfall. Me too. Well, I'm not praying on their downfall, but I would prefer for my predictions that they go down. So to briefly skip to this, I had Rule 1 and Liquid advancing, and that is still possible. So we'll see. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, Eshan Ali. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this stream as well. We're just talking results. We're on Group B. I'm skipping ahead, but we're on Group B. This is gonna be probably a longer stream because we have all 4 groups to get through, and then I have an idea for a video. But we'll talk about that after we get through this recap. Recap first. Jay said didn't get to see Falcons. That was the only match I watched live. So I watched the last 4 games of Falcons versus Furia. And it's the only one I watched live, but it has to be the match of the tournament. So far, I mean, the match of the tournament. It was incredible. It was really fun to watch. Yeah, welcome everybody that's new, by the way. This might be my highest peak concurrent viewers ever, so I really appreciate all your support. Jay said Falcons comfortable. It was not comfortable. It was not. I'll show you the overtime, Jay. They won in an overtime in Game 5, and it was not comfortable. Oh boy, it was a Game 5 overtime. It was not at all. But they won. But not comfortable. And then Ronald says, I prayed on Vitality's downfall and it's been answered finally. Well, don't speak too soon, Ronald. Vitality still could win the whole event. They're not out of it yet. We shall see indeed. Subcount 307. I'm not keeping active track. I just refresh every so often. So yes, I will update it. I appreciate whoever subscribed. Every subscriber I appreciate. And you're bringing us closer to the goal today, which is great. We're getting there. 307 now. In the meantime, we should get back to this stuff. So we talked Ninjas in Pajamas, Monkeys. Now let's jump up to these next matches. So Twisted Minds did beat Elevate, as I mentioned earlier. And honestly, they didn't look bad against BDS. Now again, I didn't watch this, so I'm really just going off the score. But going off the scores, it was a close series. 1 goal game in games 1 and 2. And Twisted Minds actually do take a 3v3. So unlike Ninjas in Pajamas, unlike Elevate, against Twisted Minds, but Twisted Minds managed to take a game. So they didn't go winless in games, and it really proved why it was a close series. But what I want to talk about with this series and what we're going to watch for sure is the overtime. So I did see some of the highlight, I watched this overtime. It was pretty hectic. So these are pro players, but sometimes they just look like plats, and this was one of those moments. It was Monkey Moon versus Venom. Speaking of which, I didn't know Venom could 1v1. He put up a very, very respectable fight against Monkey Moon. But he did lose, and let's watch that, because that was a match that will go down. He's going to want back. I think Venom's going to want that one back. It wasn't a great showing from him. Was this earlier in the day? It probably was. He's going to want that back, because it was not good. Where would this be? Perhaps it's on the other stream. So let me find it really quick. We got go to live here and then B stream. And then we should be able to find it pretty quickly. Okay, it's after this one. That was the series we just talked about. Here we go. Okay, so this is it. This is the 1v1, is it? No. 1v1 ended the series. So let's skip ahead a bit. It's 3 a.m. Okay, no worries, Ronald. I really appreciate just stopping by. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good night. Eshin, well, let me go back. I missed a bit. Eshin said this was an interesting first day. Who do you think makes it out of Group C? I will really quickly talk about this. Group C, I'm going to be completely honest. It's probably K Corp and Falcons. I think both of them. So whoever wins and whoever loses, I imagine they both make it through. That said, Furia have a legitimate chance. And despite all odds, I did not expect this. Technically, FaZe Clan have a chance. I will say, I didn't expect them to do well with Chrome at all, but they've actually done better than I expected. So I'll give FaZe Clan credit. I'll say there's a chance they advance. There's a chance. But really, you're looking at Karmine Corp, Falcons, and maybe Furia. But these two are favorites. But let's watch this overtime. Because it was hectic. What am I at? Let me click this so we stick with it. Most scuffed 1v1 ever is probably accurate. It is very scuffed. They try and throw their matches. They do. I'll show. Well, you guys are gonna see. It was a very. I watched this overtime back. So that's the start. Look at this. Look at this, everybody. Just can you imagine the stakes on this game? If you're Venom, you need to win this game or your team is out. And you're not out of the tournament, but you have a much tougher road. You really want to win this. You want to beat BDS. You want to be in that upper, bracket. Stay in the upper bracket. 7 seconds left. You can win it here. And what happens? Monkey Moon completely whips the ball, backflips. Venom has an open net. And yeah, there's only 2 seconds on the clock, but Venom's a pro player. He has 16 boosts. It's scoreable. And he misses. And now, don't get me wrong. That's a difficult shot with 16 boost, but it definitely was scoreable, and it's kind of sad that he doesn't score there. But it gets worse. It gets worse, and we're not done here. You hear CJ shouting, no, 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 because who misses an open net? Oh, it's so crazy. Oh, man. And it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. They do. They go to plat, I swear.
Goes to the reset. Monkey Moon charges through the challenge.
I don't understand how Monkey Moon doesn't get the ball after he wins that challenge like that. He whiffs another wide open net, and then he misses the shot. It's just like, what is happening? Venom had a chance there, and then another chance, and another save out of Monkey Moon. Well, that one was actually a good save. Then here, it's just in. It ends like this. This is an own goal. Like, I know that I don't even think the casters caught this, but I saw this in the replay. That is an own goal. He pinches it with Monkey Moon, and it's an own goal. So it has an orange trail. Do you see that? You guys see the orange trail? That means Venom touched it last. So it ends with an own goal. It's just an incredible 1v1 that ends with an own goal. What is this? I just can't believe it. And again, no, I don't mean to like pick on Venom. His team lost the games they should have won. Let me go back to this. They lost a 3v3 and a 2v2, but that's just unfortunate. That's just unfortunate. Venom had multiple chances to win there, multiple whiffs from Monkey Moon, but he can't finish the job. He can't finish the job. Welcome Venom. Welcome back to the stream, Venom. What did Mystic said? The least expected open net for sure, and it was a difficult shot. I do want to mention again, difficult shot. The very first one at 0 seconds, but he could have scored. And then in overtime, that's an easier shot. He had a shot. If he had placed it top corner, he probably would have scored. Instead, he hits a dead center, and Monkey Moon gets the save. Kirby asked, why are they using green and orange, not blue and orange? Good question, Kirby. We mentioned that earlier. We have no idea. Well, we don't know for sure. Presumably, they wanted to have their own colors for some reason. They wanted to have their own broadcast colors. But what everyone's confused about is, unlike RLCS that picks which color teams are based on their logo, they're not doing that. They're giving the higher seed green every time, which is so confusing because you'll have series where Optic is the green team in their logo, but they're playing orange. And Vitality, which would fit orange well as their yellow, they're playing on green. And it's just all messed up, all mixed up. Fooney says, Monkey knew no matter what, he had the French plot armor. I guess that's true. Monkey was just willing to just let the ball go where it wants to go, and it went in. And again, it ended with an own goal. I don't think they caught it live. I don't think they mentioned it. But Venom, that was an own pinch. Like, he pinched it with Monkey Moon into his own net. Monkey did not have that fast of a touch. Venom made it faster. So, pretty rough, pretty rough. That said, even with all that, Twisted Minds looked better than I expected. It has to be said. I think Twisted Minds look better than I thought they would. So I think you favor them versus Ninjas in Pajamas, which I wouldn't have been sure to have said before this event. But now that I've seen the matches, I think Twisted Minds are the favorites tomorrow against Nip. And let's talk about the last match of the day. It was Gen G, not of the day, of this group. The last match was Gen G Monkey. I think I missed some chats. Let's see. Venom says he's almost champ. Congrats, Venom. I hope you get there. Almost there. Rise sips water as if he did something. Did he not play the 2v2? It was Seiko. See, I knew it would be Monkey Moon Seiko. I told you guys. They won the 2v2. Best 2v2 team in the world. I told you guys that. Nah, I'm kidding. But I think they could be. But maybe I'm just biased. But why was Rise laughing? The teams Rise and Calm, both of them, which of course it has to be them because they're like the villains. They play the villain role. Both Rise and Calm were like trash talking, even though they did the least for their teams. It was really funny. Then we got Funi says a clown. They're just playing up the villain for sure. They're playing up the villain. Chubby Chicken says, what team do I think played the best today? Entirely, probably Oxygen, but either Oxygen or maybe Rule 1 had a clean series. Rule 1 had a very clean series, actually, it should be said. And Team Secret are no slouches, so maybe Rule 1. Rule 1 if we're talking clean, Oxygen if we're talking, like, you know, upset, because it was such an upset. Jay says Saudi. Yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia. Mystic says Vitality have gone against BDS 3 times. Karmine Core only twice. Lower bracket Vitality got sent to would cause them to face Karmine Core for a 3rd time. It could happen. It could. The script is real. Did Optic play yesterday? There were no matches. Welcome to the stream, Raza. I hope you're enjoying. Welcome, welcome. Optic played today. All the matches were today. There was no yesterday. It started today. Unless you're in a weird time zone and you've already went to sleep and woken up again. But it happened today, for me at least. Venom says what? Yeah, there were no matches yesterday. And then, oh, which Venom? Venom, I'm usually talking about the Venom. I was probably talking about this Venom. The Venom in Twisted Minds. But yes, that can be confusing. We have so many people with pros names in this chat. Mystic says Vitality versus BDS series in respective order. Oh yeah, I saw you mention that in the Discord. And yeah, I think the trend will hold. Maybe not, but we'll see. It could very easily hold. Funi says Rise only played 3s and he's laughing. Yeah, he did. He did for sure, Funi. Raza says, how did Vitality lose? Well, I'm glad you asked, Raza. We already talked about Group A, but I'll quickly recap it one more time. Vitality, they won one of the 3v3s, but they lost the other 2. They won the 2v2, so really where you could say they lost is they just had to win another 3v3, or, and this was kind of what I highlighted, is they lost the 1v1. Zen versus Jorius, and Jorius clutched it up. He won 5 goals to 4. He got the job done. So really good on Oxygen, good on Jorius. Congrats to them. You know, they earned it. A very close series, but they took the dub. And Vitality, you know, a shocker. But let's get back into this Gen G Monkey series. After Monkeys looked so well against Nip, you think they might have taken even more games here, but they do end up dropping it in 4. What's interesting to me is they took the 2v2, because I think that speaks to how good Monkeys are. Because I feel like 2v2 has to be their weakest mode, in my opinion, yet they still beat Gen G in 2v2. So I think they're quite strong. I think they're coming in stronger than I expected. And yeah, they lose to Gen G, but again, Gen G is one of the top 8 teams, I think, pretty inarguably. So it's not an unexpected loss at all. And I think Monkeys are still have a chance to make it out of groups here. In fact, out of these 4 teams and lowers, you're really looking at Monkeys and Twisted Minds. So we'll see which one of them can come out on top, or obviously, you know, Nip or Elevate. And I hope it will be Elevate, but, you know, I think you got to favor either Twisted Minds or Monkeys to face the loser of this Gen G BDS series. And then, yeah, just speaking to Gen G, you know, close games, but they closed them out. Every game here was a 1-goal game, which I find interesting. So a close series on the whole. But yeah, Jay said Saudi referring to the colors. Oh, yeah. You know, a lot of people said that, Jay. And I feel like if it is the Saudi colors, which it very well could be, I'm not sure. Shouldn't it be a darker green? It's not really a big deal either way. But I feel like a darker green would look better than a lighter green. But, again, not a huge deal. Gen G is top 4, but number 1 in my world. Gotcha, Roblox. I don't even think they're top 4 in the power rankings. I didn't have them top 4 power ranks. But I think they can get some upsets, and I think they can get that top 4 finish. So we'll see what happens. They're definitely top 8 for sure. I feel like they're big favorites to make playoffs alongside BDS. I think this group, it's not locked up, but whoever loses in this match is probably going to win in the lowers. So pretty locked up. Venom says one guy was being toxic, but he didn't know I was diamond. Gotcha, Venom. Gotcha. Yeah, sometimes ranked is a jungle. What did Mystic say? Every time I don't show up for Vitality predictions, they lose. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, you'd be at 0 points. Gotcha. Oh, you mean predictions on the Twitch channel? Probably. I gotcha. Yeah, I'm really bad at those. I never have channel points. Alrighty. Let's move on to the next group. So we've talked about Group B, we've talked about Group A. Perhaps the most interesting group, in my opinion, was Group C. This group was fascinating. It went, in some ways, exactly how I expected, but in other ways, not at all how I expected. For example, did I pick, what did I pick here? Did I pick FaZe? I did. So I got the game scores almost exactly right. Not quite, because I had this as a game 4. But I had very accurate scores here, except one thing. This was before FaZe Clan don't have Typical and they were playing with Chrome. So I didn't expect this. After they got Chrome, there's no way I expected FaZe to beat Pioneers. I want to be completely honest. I know Chrome isn't trash at the game, right? He's a high GC. He might even hit SSL before this event. But the point is, he's not a pro anymore. He hasn't been a pro in a long time. And I really thought that even with First Killer, even with Mist, they were going to lose to Pioneers. But they proved me wrong. And to Chrome's credit, he did not look half bad at all. So I actually had the stats up in advance for this because I was so impressed with Chrome. So let's talk about it. Look at this stat line from Chrome. I can't believe he scored a goal a game, an assist a game on 33% shooting. And he got, like, half a save a game. Not fantastic, but he was... Chrome, he played. He was there to win. He played like he belonged on the pitch. Again, a good deal lower than his two teammates, but he looked like he belonged in terms of stats. I haven't watched the series, but it sure seems like he belonged on that pitch. So I think a really good step up from Chrome to be there for his team. Not what I expected. Mystic says just bet a smaller percent of your points when you're uncertain. That's a good way to do it. A good way to do it. Jay said top 3 in power rankings not as dominant. Oh, for sure. They were not as dominant. Vitality lost. Falcons went to game 5. Maybe my power rankings are getting a little upturned. I still stand by them. I think that going into this event, I know people disagree, and it's okay because I'm not perfect. But I stand by that going into the event, I stand by my power rankings. I think the only thing in my power rankings that you could change, 2 things. 1, you probably could shift Elevate down. That's a little biased. And 2, I didn't find out that Amphis was playing for Pioneers until much later, like too late to change. So maybe Pioneers go up a bit. But other than that, I stand by him. Furious smurfed on Limitless. Oh, they did. We'll talk about that in a minute, but they sure did. Jay, I'm not going to watch Party. Sorry. I really thought about it for the weekend, but I couldn't do it today or tomorrow either way. And I think I'm just going to do a recap stream, Jay, after every day, including the Saturday, Sunday matches. I will do a recap stream. Zuko said, Yan plus lost aerial pass play was insane. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Or actually, if you have a clip, just send a clip in the chat. That'll be easier. And I'll definitely will watch it. Booney says Chrome looks like his younger self. He did exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is baffling to me. I just didn't expect it. So props to Chrome. He grinded and he's prepared. He probably, this is a joke, but it's true. He probably put in more hours than Mist did prepping for this event. So yeah, good for Chrome. And obviously, we'll go back to this. They did lose their very next match against Karmine Corps in a sweep, but this is not unexpected. And even though it was a sweep, all the games were 1-goal games. So if you told me FaZe would beat Pioneers and then put up 1-goal games against Karmine Corps, I would have told you were crazy. This is Chrome. And they managed to respectable loss to Karmine Corps. Again, they lost in a sweep, but it was respectable. It was as respectable as a sweep gets, and I'm surprised. Color me surprised that they managed to put up such a good fight. Game 1 even went to overtime. I mean, FaZe had a chance here. And the 1v1, that's crazy to me. First Killer, you probably favor him maybe a little bit over Vatira, but they did lose. So you think they could have taken that and at least got a 2v2 in there, but that's all right. That's the way it goes. What is your reaction if I got 1,000 subs? I would freak out because in a single stream, that would be really wacky and weird. But in general, I'm going to be very happy, obviously, when I get there. But it'll probably be less of a hype reaction if it happened instantly. But it's not going to happen instantly. Speaking of subs, though, I will check. Maybe we've gotten a little closer to our goal. Our goal today is 310 subs. We are at 308. So appreciate anyone that subbed. I appreciate all the support. but your subscription means a lot. We're slowly getting there, slowly but surely. I'm surprised how consistently we've been hitting our goals here, so I really appreciate it. Chronic played exceptional. He did. He did. I didn't talk a ton about Genji. I probably should have said more. I talked more about monkeys than Genji, but Genji did look good. So for the record, again, they are looking like they're going to make it out of groups, even if they lose to BDS. I would expect them to be in playoffs for sure. Wasn't shaken up, but he also had two great players backing up. Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a solid team, all three of them. So I should do alerts for subs. Funi, I tried and I couldn't get it to work and then I gave up. But I should probably get back into it. Although the one thing I will say is YouTube, you can't guarantee an alert will pop up because a lot of people have their subs private, which is totally understandable. So it would only pop up if someone had it public, I found out. Which is still, to be fair, like maybe half or a little under half of people. So not everyone it would pop up, but for some it would. But I'll figure that out at some point. I just keep putting it off. Syed says, when are you going to do a watch party? Unfortunately, Syed, not for this Gamers8, which I feel bad, but I'm not going to do it for this one. But I'm going to do recap streams after each day, for sure. Sorry, I know the timing is really poor for a lot of you guys, but what can you do? That's just the way it's going to have to be for this one. I think I got through everything. Oh, Zuko actually said it was the 2v2. I don't remember which goal. That's okay. That's okay, Zuko. We are going to watch Fury of Falcons. We'll watch a little bit of that, so don't worry. But speaking of, we kind of talked Karmine Corps here really quickly. Karmine Corps did look good. Obviously, I think they looked a little worse than I expected just because they played FaZe so close. But you can't knock a win. A sweep is a sweep. They didn't drop a game, so good for them. And I still think they're probably, I would say, even with Falcons. Originally, I favored Falcons, but now I think it's pretty even. It could go either way. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who will win. But let's talk about the bottom half of this group. Starting with Furia Limitless. Now, I didn't expect a lot out of Limitless, and that's it's pretty much exactly what I expected. Not a perfect sweep. They put up some goals, but Limitless were never in a position to win these games. Furia, dominant, controlled victory here. And again, that's pretty much what you expected. Mythical Pat L. Yeah, it's an L, but it's alright. You wanted to see a commentary of Chrome gameplay? I'm sorry, Syed. I'm very sorry. Not gonna happen this time. Yeah. Especially because I wouldn't be able to do it tomorrow, and I don't think FaZe make it to playoffs, but I definitely couldn't do tomorrow either way, so. Jay said, top 3 after day 1 is Rule 1, Oxygen, K-Corp. That's probably a good top 3. I still think Falcons are good, but obviously nearly losing to Furia is not a great look. Furia aren't a bad team, but it's not a great look. I would actually have BDS in there, but I had BDS before in my top 3, and they haven't shown anything terrible. So I would have Rule 1, Rule 1, K-Corp, BDS. I know Oxygen are good, and they're fighting their way into what could be a top 3, but I wouldn't put them top 3 after one good win. Because, Ground Zero is not a great win, right? Vitality is a great win. That's a great win, but it's just one great win. So we'll see what Oxygen can do, but I wouldn't put them top 3 that quickly. All right. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, wait a second. You guys are the Falcons bias people. No, I'm kidding. But let's talk about that now. So we talked about Furia Limitless, and I didn't talk a lot about it, but yeah, Furia looked what you expected. Limitless, what you expected. This is the match of the day. It's the match in my thumbnail. Falcons versus Furia. The only one I got to watch live. I missed game 1. But what a series. Truly, what a series. This is indicative of everything Gamers8 is about. The 1v1s, the 2v2s intermixed. And it really felt like this series could have gone either way. Furia, to their credit, they easily could have won this. It really could have went Furia's way. And if you're Falcons, I mean, they could have taken the series earlier than they did. But is there wait, what Mystic says, is there bias there? Vitality keep it really close against Oxygen, but I don't know how the other ones went. I don't know. Unless Oxygen barely makes it to number 3. If they barely make number 3, that's fine by me. I still don't think they're top 3 that quick in my power rankings. Obviously, we're in the midst of the event, but yeah. Pat, you can't say anything about bias. No, BDS, what are you? Oh, wait, wait a second, Funi. It's not crazy to say they're top 3, especially after today, but even before today, I feel very strong with what I said. I said what I said, and I meant it. Now, I know what people took most offense to is to me saying they're the best 2v2 team, but if you listen closely to the video, I didn't say they are the best 2v2. I said perhaps the best 2v2. I said perhaps. So I think BDS are genuinely top 3 still. And they proved it in 3v3. So if 3v3 is the most, you're playing 3 games of 3v3 in a best of 5 if you go the whole distance. I think you got to favor BDS in almost every matchup. So yeah, perhaps. Exactly. Exactly. You can't, I mean, I did say it. I did say perhaps. Yeah. It is crazy. Jay says, it is crazy that Oxygen won, I will say. So, but yeah, not too quick. But let's get back to this Falcons Furia. And I'm going to pull up the stats here. Because again, it was a nuts series. It's just nuts that it happens. Like, I didn't expect it to actually go to a game 5 overtime, and yet we got it. We got the series we wanted. Because when you have a live event like this, you want to see the game 5, like the game 5 or game 7 overtimes. That's what I live for. That's what Rocket League Esports is all about. Everyone's living or dying by one goal. I know that's like the least like competitive ending to, or well, it's the most competitive ending to a game. It's the most random ending to a game in a lot of ways, but that's what Rocket League's all about. These are two good teams. Either of them could have deserved the win, but Falcons deserved it more. They got the job done. And we're going to talk about the plat moments because there was a good share of plat moments in this one as well. But let's talk stats first. See, this is crazy. And I noticed this, and I mentioned it earlier today, and I was true. But this is the very first time I have ever seen 2 players shoot 0% and they still won. Can you guys believe Falcons had TRK and Ahmad shoot 0%? On a lot of shots, 3 shots a game for both of them. That's crazy. Do you guys know how crazy that is? That's crazy. I cannot believe that. And they still won. So Nupo, he stepped up. Listen, people were saying that Nupo, like I in my YouTube comments to my video, people say Mina bias. Or I think the more particular, there was one on a short where someone told me that Nupo, it's his first LAN. Why am I expecting so much out of him? And you know what? It was a fair comment. It was. There's no way to know how a brand new player to an international LAN is going to play. But this was Nupo's like entrance to the global stage, and he has the ice. He has the ice. He scored every goal for Falcons in the 3v3s. Again, I will say this is not counting the 2v2 or 1v1. It's just the 3v3s. But in the 3v3s, he stepped it up and scored every goal for them. Every single goal, which is wild. Wild to me that he really stepped it up. He won, arguably, in my opinion, he won the series for Falcons. And that's just what you want to see out of a rookie. When you get a rookie in, I guess he's not really a rookie. He did play one split before. But when you get this new player in and he steps up immediately, it's a really good sign for Falcons moving forward. And I think it makes me more confident in picking them so high in the power rankings. I power rank them number 2. Let's talk what Zuko said, though, because it is a good point. Furia did kind of throw. They were up with 5 seconds left, and they concede, and then they concede in overtime. And I said plat moments. That's what I was getting at, Zuko. I hinted at it. Furia had some of those plat moments. A particular loss. I mentioned it in my Discord server for anyone that's here that is in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I have it pinned right now. You're welcome to join. I'll check afterward to make sure everyone has talk privileges. But I said it in the Discord while the match was happening live. Lost. This is an unintentional pun. Lost kind of lost the series for Furia. I didn't mean to make a pun there, but what I mean is, out of all the players on Lost, and even though his stats weren't terrible, in fact, he actually leads his team in statistics across the 3v3s, but in the last game, in game 5, Lost had some whiffs that cost Furia the game. I'm going to break it down. I don't mean to be mean, but he kind of was the person that kind of like, his whiffs were the most critical. And when he whiffed, Falcons scored twice off of his missed touches. So, Foonies are laughing at that. Yeah, lost the game. Yeah. Jay said they were the most offensive players in Falcons last season. The Nupo just takes the credit. Exactly. And obviously, a lot of assists. Every single goal was assisted. So Falcons was passing. And actually, I'm going to mention that. Falcons had a lot of passing plays. I actually really love that they always were looking for passes. So maybe that's an intentional choice, is that Ahmad and TRK were intentionally passing it to Nupo. Because I noticed that. I know Falcons always pass, but they passed more than they usually do. They really were getting the ball around to all their different players. So I like their play style today. Yan didn't score. Oh, let's talk about that. He did not score. I hadn't even got to it, but the trend continues, though, where the losing team did have a player on 0% shooting. Yan on 0% shooting, and they lost. And he had more shots than Falcons, which I'm going to get into that. Furia had more shots, but why they lose? They had a worse shooting percentage, and Falcons got more saves in combination. So what's really interesting here is that Yan didn't score any goals, and he did get a decent amount of assists. In fact, goal participation was equal across the board. But still, you gotta see higher shooting percentages. I mean, Lost is taking 5 shots a game and only made 6.67. This is abysmal shooting, by the way. Every single player had bad shooting, except maybe Nupo, and Card wasn't horrible. But like, TRK, Ahmad, Yan, Lost. Terrible shooting, and that's kind of indicative of how the series as a whole went. There was just a lot of defense this series. So, which is why the shooting percentages are low, to be fair. I'll give a little credit to the defenses of both teams is why shooting was so low. But still, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Oh yeah, Funi. Yeah, no, you're laughing. Yeah, you're laughing. You weren't just making fun of my pun. No. You thought it was hilarious. Zuko said Lost looked nervous. He did. Again, I don't want to pick on Lost. We'll talk about it when I get into the replay. But it wasn't great. It wasn't great, but it was because he's nervous, and it happens. It happens. An own goal. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an own goal. So I didn't even say this. So many team bumps. Because again, I watched this one live. Both Falcons and Furia were bumping their teammates like I couldn't believe. Every game, every single game except the 1v1, because it was a 1v1, every single game had at least one team bump on both teams by my count. I did not watch game 1, to be fair, so excluding game 1, but game 2, 3, and 5 had at least one team bump on each team. Welcome, Breezy. Welcome to the stream. We're talking Gamers8, which is an esport tournament. So I don't think anyone here is trading, but you're welcome to ask around anyway. I'm not trading, at least. But let's get back to this view to talk about this, because the way this series went down is Furia won the original 3v3, then Falcons chose 2v2. I think that's because you don't want to play Yan, and that was probably the right call, as Yan obviously won the next one. And Falcons, they did win this 2v2, so they chose correctly. They picked 2v2, and they managed to beat out. So it was TRK, Nupo versus Yan and Lost, and they got the win with a 6-second overtime. Or sorry, no, I'm skipping ahead. Oh boy, and now I clicked Forbidden Temple. But they get the dub here. 2-goal the difference. So 2 goals advantage for Furia, then a 2-goal advantage for Falcons. Very close series. Game 3 to take the lead and be on match point. Falcons won. It was a 0-0 game. So it went to overtime with neither team scoring. And then in 6 seconds, so in 5 minutes, nobody can score. But in 6 seconds, a kickoff goal, effectively, Falcons get the dub. Then in the next game, a 1-goal game in the 1v1 for Yan. Yan took it from TRK. And I'm going to talk about this, but TRK had some whiffs here. He could have tied the game up at 0 seconds, but he whiffs. And Yan gets the win. And then we move into the last game. Oh boy. And both teams started to look like plats in this overtime. It was a 3-minute, 27-second overtime. And both Falcons and Furia, they didn't all look good. It was not good. It was kind of unbelievable how many times either team could have scored and they didn't score. So pretty crazy. Let me see what Jay said. I might have missed this. Is the Falcons 3v3 playstyle solid or a flop? It's not a flop, but it still needs some development. I noticed, like I said, they were passing a lot. It seemed like they were intentionally passing more than they used to with O'Khaled. And I think they're just going to have to refine their passes. For the most part, the passes are working, but they're not getting a great shot. So they'll have some great passes, and the last person takes a weak shot. And if you're going to end a series of passes with a weak shot, you might as well have taken a strong shot earlier on. So they need to work on their shooting, which is obvious from the shooting percentage, but got to work on shooting. Perhaps work on those passes a bit as well, because some of the passes were getting intercepted. But let's watch back some of these. So we're going to get here into this. I think it was on the A stream. Maybe it was on the B stream. Let me check this out. It was on the A stream, so I'm going to quickly go to that. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this series if you watched it live. Because, like I said, it was still the match of the day for me. Just because there were mistakes, it was still an incredibly fun match. And I loved it. I loved every minute. It was fun. Fun to watch. We are gonna watch the last game, but first I want to watch the 6-second overtime. I think that was game 2. It was.
really were not.
Let's watch
so can
this.
tight the series.
No, it
love
was
that
game
from
3.
TRK at
Whoops.
the end. It's not all about the flashy play. It's not all about
Kickoff was
We went ahead a
the...
bit too far.
Almost gets the next touch as well. Malpo just waited. Armad's on that back wall.
yeah.
Here we
Passing
go.
and defense has to be.
So we're gonna watch the last like little bit. I might have went too
straight
far.
down.
20 top. Yan.
Okay, here we go.
First touch. No one from Falcons
Suspect,
can
the
go
first
for it.
day
He's
of
putting in
Gamers8.
that
Yeah, you
perfect
only missed 2
ball
groups.
of
We're still
uncertainty.
going
That
through the
was
last 2,
almost
so you only
own
missed half of it.
goals,
But welcome
somehow
on,
worked
Suspect.
out as
Welcome on.
Falcons possession. Card there,
Here we go.
Malpo's
5
coming
seconds
in.
left,
Lost the card
and
complaining.
Furia
Get the
is going to
rear
get a
end
little
towards
bit of a
Card.
look here. A really good look. A really good save from Ahmad. And now watch this overtime here. A very quick win here.
That nearly sealed it for Fury.
Nupo just gets a not pedestrian, but a very basic shot here. And now the replay gets cut off pretty quick. So we don't get to watch the replay, so we'll just go back and watch it. This is a pretty bad POV, so I might download this game. But I think it was savable from Yan. Honestly, it just seems like a bit of a miss from Yan here. And now Po gets it in. So a really close one there. I don't think I'm going to download that one, though, because I'm going to download one of the later ones, or I already did. Let's skip ahead a bit to this 1v1. And it was a very close back and forth 1v1. Oh, it does, Mystic? That's alright. Unless you guys really want to watch it. But was it savable? Actually, I'll pause this real quick. Let me know, Mystic, if that was savable. Because I believed it was, and it was just a slight mistouch from Furia. I forget which player. Kirby says you missed day 1 and you're going to miss day 2. That's alright. You can always watch, the playoffs live. I'm probably not going to be able to watch any of the days live. I'll watch a little bit of the playoffs live. But definitely not watch partying, unfortunately, as I mentioned. I will do a recap stream after every day, though. So for sure, be tuned for that. Mystic says should have been. Yeah, should have been a save. Yeah, should have been a save. I'm going to quickly look if I can update my little ticker. I appreciate anyone that has subscribed. Nope, we're still at 308. We are 2 away, by the way, from our subscriber goal. So if you are watching and you're a new viewer, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe. It helps me grow and it helps you get notified when I go live or put out new videos. I do videos on Gamers8, other Rocket League Esports like RLCS, all different kinds of Rocket League Esports content. Even in the off season, I'm going to have content coming out. So you'll want to be subscribed if you're interested. I mean, Mystic says almost certain, though. Yeah, I gotcha. And then Suspect says, anyone know who the first 2 groups were? Yeah, Suspect, let me quickly back out of this. Basically, I talked about Group A and B. So the big upsets, Suspect, if you weren't aware, Oxygen beat Vitality, and G2 managed to beat Optic. That's not like a upset or anything, but that's a huge upset. Game 5 win for Oxygen. Meanwhile, in the other groups, it went pretty much as expected. The biggest upset, if it is an upset, is that Monkeys beat Ninjas in Pajamas 3-0. I think a lot of people might have picked Monkeys, but not to sweep. So that was a sweep. And now we're into Group C. Nothing really too crazy here, except FaZe got a win. They beat Pioneers with Chrome. Not what I expected. But let's get back into this, into these replays here. So we're talking Falcons Furia. And look at this. Bumps galore here. A lot of like air dribble bumps, leaving the ball for bumps. And I'm going to talk about leaving the ball for a bump because that's what happens in 0 seconds. I'm kind of spoiling a bit. But the 0-second play, it was kind of sketchy. It was really, could have went either way. But we'll skip ahead of it because there's a lot to this game. But while this game was happening live, I was rooting for double digits. And we don't quite reach double digits, but it was still a high-scoring game. Very high-scoring game. Vitality are not out. There is a lower bracket. So Vitality, they're going to have to win 3 games in a row to make playoffs.
I don't know how he's doing it. Yan gets it past him yet again. Then he fakes the RKO.
So look at this. Yan here fakes. Not really a fake though. He just missed the ball, in my opinion.
Yan gets it past him yet again. Then he fakes the RKO.
So tough a miss there from TRK. We'll actually skip ahead a bit more. We'll get to the last minute.
14 goals. Go people.
TRK ties it up 7-all with about a minute left. We'll watch it out from here.
Full parity. Who wins this kickoff? To the side it goes.
And the thing about ones is there's so many kickoff goals. And TRK there going for a boost over ball, but he ends up getting the ball anyway. I think Yan maybe should have went for a shot there, a snapshot. TRK took too much time again to get the snapshot. Going for the demo, but he misses. Now he's on 0 boost. It's sketchy. And Yan will get it right past him. So again here, obviously they're the pros, not me. So for the record, I cannot do better than this. But TRK turns upfield after he gets the big boost pad, and perhaps he should have stayed back post. So he's going to grab the big boost pad, and he turns upfield. He should not have turned upfield. He should have stayed parallel to the goal line. He goes to challenge the ball, but of course, that's when Yan gets it past him.
Almost past TRK, he gets the flick and he makes it 8.
Unfortunate there.
15th goal.
Again, he had TRK within his vision.
Didn't even
TRK's
know. I
not
was gonna
hiding
keep
behind
this
the ball
going.
there. His challenge is in plain sight, and Yan is clinical.
There is a lower
as
bracket.
ever.
Yeah, sorry, I
He
thought I
knows the
said that
difference.
suspect. But yeah,
This
lower
time
bracket,
it's Yan in
and
the
then
lead.
they play Gladiators. So
He's had
Vitality are
plenty
likely
leads
going
this
to run
game,
into
but
either
every time TRK fires back and he
Ground
makes
Zero
one
or
back here,
Optic.
takes his
Probably
time to
Optic,
kick
but it
out.
could be Ground Zero
Misses his
if they
flick,
beat
and Yan has
Gladiators.
possession again.
Look at this here,
Far
a
back
missed
here, takes
chance
his time with the
from
kick-off goal.
TRK, a really poor
And Yan
flick.
has
He
possession
basically just
again.
gives up the ball. And then he doesn't get the boost, so it's pretty poor. And gotta remember, TRK is down a goal, so he has to score with 30 seconds left. Here, a necessary save from TRK, and he does get the save. He pops the ball, but it's a little bit too long. He's not diving here. He probably should be diving a little bit more. Double tap opportunity. But Yan is really good time management from Yan. He's really managing the clock very well here. Let's watch this back a little bit. Look at this. Scoreable. Obviously, it's tough. But if he had gotten this a little bit better, this chance here, TRK, he gets it past Yan. And now he got bumped a little bit. The ball got popped a little too high. But I think he feathered his boost a little too much. He should have went for like a scoop shot, or he could have done something a little different. Then again, that's his camera angle. He doesn't see Yan until it's too late. He doesn't realize he can't get the pinch. If Yan hadn't gotten back in time, that would have been a goal because he would have pinched it in. But he didn't realize he didn't have time for a goal. He should have went under the ball. Oxygen and Vitality, Kirby says, I should say, Oxygen and Vitality could definitely meet each other again. They very well might. I think G2 is probably the favorite versus Oxygen. So, yeah, it could go either way. Suspect says Vitality, or well, there's a good argument for Oxygen to be favorites over G2. So, it could go either way. But given it's like a 50-50 at best for Oxygen, in my opinion, a 50-50 probably, yeah, they very well could play Vitality. A repeat match. Vitality, for their level, have a very easy group, so it surprised me that they lost. I do agree. They obviously are the best team coming in. That's why they got an easier group. Perhaps the only team that made playoffs at RLCS Worlds, I should say, was G2. Optic didn't do well in the spring major either. Who else is in their group? Oxygen had a horrible Worlds, not great at all. So yeah, you definitely favor Vitality there. It's kind of surprising to see him drop it. Welcome back, Funi. Welcome back. Let's finish off these replays. We're gonna have to do the game 5 here after this. But look at this. He goes for the air dribble bump, and he didn't put the ball high enough. So when you have this air dribble bump, you've got to get a better setup than this. He needed a second touch. Sorry, he got a second touch. He needed a third touch because that was not enough. So he goes for the bump, and it should be said, he actually misses the bump. So Yan might have gotten the save either way, Gamers8, so maybe that's why. Although I'm pretty sure Nupo has had to have played Yan at some point in a show match, but yeah. But that was the 1v1. It was a close game, but, Yan wins it. He forces game 5, and let's skip ahead and get into that game 5 a bit. So, I really want to talk about, this last minute. Let's hit play, and we'll skip ahead a little bit more. But with a minute, just under a minute here, this was a lot of plat moments. A lot of plat moments from both teams. Alexander in chat, welcome to the stream, Alexander. If you're new, I appreciate it. Or a returning viewer, either way, I appreciate you showing up. I think because of the rivalry they have with each other. Yep, TRK is like a bit of a rivalry with Yan since the last Gamers8, I think, was when it started. So for sure. Well, I didn't, Funi. I have no idea if there was a lag spike. Hopefully not. While I'm paused here for a second, I will check our subscriber goal. If you are a new viewer, I'd appreciate... Oh, we did get one more. I appreciate whoever that was. Thank you. We are almost at our goal. We are one away from hitting our subscribe goal for the day. We are at 309 out of 310. So I do really appreciate it. If you are a new viewer and you are, if you like the content, you want to see more, I'd appreciate it. We're almost there. But let's get back into it. 30 seconds left here, and this was a really close game. Okay, everyone got a lag. Sorry, guys. All right, I hope it's back for everybody. My apologies if I lagged a bit. Hopefully I'm back.
Oh, so close again.
Let's watch that back.
And they'll push
Off the bar. Again, Furia just pounced on the second
So
ball.
Furia,
Half a chance, but it's blocked. And again, Furia just
Furia have a
pounced on the
chance here.
second ball.
Card
They take
goes
it
for a
all the way
fake,
to the Falcon
then he hits
side.
it over.
It's off
He
the bar
almost
and out.
scored that
Oh,
and
so
Lost
close
almost
again.
scored that.
Saved there
So
by
a really
Falcons,
close one.
and they'll push through all the way to the end.
Now Nupo down the other way.
Can he get another huge
Again,
dunk? It's not gonna
Furia
happen.
are have the lead
Card
right now.
on
All
the
they have to do is
back
hold
wall.
on for 10
Ahmad's
more
team's in.
seconds.
Lost in front of him. Pinch
Ahmad
past him.
lost
TRK
a
fakes it
really
up
poor
and
pinch.
out.
So that's the first thing I'm going to
Lost
talk
in
about.
front of him. Pinch
Listen,
past him.
that's not a terrible touch here from Lost, but let's talk about it a little more. This is the situation. Lost here has 100 boost. Nupo really saved them. He did, and we're going to talk about that. But Lost here has 100 boost, and yes, Ahmad's hit it to him, but this is a touch here from Lost. Perhaps he didn't mean to, but it hits off the back of his car, and because it hits off the back of his car, it bounces out. It was not going to bounce out that far. Instead, because he touches it, again, maybe in an accident, because he touches it, it bounces past him. Now, Lost assumes, because of course you assume, Nupo is going to shoot where nobody is, on the other side of the net. So he pre-jumps like he needs to go far the other way. What does Nupo do? He gets the mind read. He realizes what Lost is doing, and he shoots it top left. And I want to give full credit to Nupo here, because let's watch this back one last time at full speed. Look at how fast that pass out is, and perfect placement. I'm going to pause it where it goes into the net. Perfect. Look at that placement. Look at that placement. I see there might be an audio lag. I'm sorry if you guys are still having lags. Apologies. Let me see if it's anything on my... I don't think it is. Yeah. Oh. I don't think it's anything on my end. Well, if it is, sorry. It could be, but if it is, it's not my OBS. Sorry, I'm checking OBS. But anyway, look at this placement. I mean, just pristine. And again, this is Nupo's first, like, international LAN. First LAN with Falcons. First international LAN, especially, that we know of. And he hits that to tie the game with 5 seconds left? Are you kidding me? Like, this is an incredibly hard shot. Again, it was a good setup. Ahmad, you know, a good touch. A missed touch from Lost that puts it mid. So, was it the perfect pass? Pretty much. But even with a perfect pass, this was easily missable. Like I said it in the moment in my Discord chat, this is the kind of shot that pros miss all the time. And non-pros. But pros miss these, right? It is not an open net. It was not an open net. Lost here nearly saves it, even as is, with it because it was great placement. He needed that placement to be perfect, and he does. He hits the perfect top left placement when so many pros would have hit the crossbar. Because, like, all you have to do is be a little bit too far to the left, a little bit too far to the top, and you miss that shot. Instead, perfect placement from Nupo. He hits it in. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Let me go 1 second. Here we go. Just perfect. He hits it straight in to the top left corner. Like, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe this watching it live. It was that not that the shot went in, but that Nupo was the one that hit it.
That is perfection. We have a tie game.
So now with 5 seconds left, you're like, whoa, Falcons have a chance here suddenly, out of nowhere. And yeah, just what a showing from Nupo. And now Ahmad nearly with a chance. But no, we get overtime, and the plat moments are going to really appear here. So obviously these are very good pro players, but there's a lot of plat moments, some team bumps in this overtime. It's a 3-minute-ish overtime, and it's pretty nutty. So let's watch this.
And you know what that means. To the air goes Jan. He wants to
That's the first good chance, obviously easily saved, but it was a decent look at net. Now Card gets it a little ahead of him though, nearly in. Nupo, he's doing it all. He's getting the saves and the goals. Look at that save, and look at that save. Well, I think that was TRK. So that one's TRK. I'll pause it right here. Really good from Falcons here, because these were some tough shots, and they keep them out. They keep them out of the net. So they're playing very well. Now, Nupo, look at these passes. That's an incredible pass. Ahmad is there. This is the first good look from Falcons, and that's what I'm talking about. This there is a plat moment. It was perfect up until here. This here, I'm going to be completely lost. I don't even know who that is in the air, but you see him now at the top left of my screen. That should have been a goal. This early on could have been a goal from Falcons, but they go right by the ball. I guess it is Nupo. So Nupo getting some incredible touches, but also a whiff like that. It is a whiff, it has to be said. And now it's dangerous. Thankfully, though, another misplay. Card loses the ball. Both teams now making mistakes. And I don't want to call them plat moments, but, you know, some tough moments. I see Funi said definition of placement, presumably about that goal that sent it to overtime. And yes, it was the definition of placement. But we're starting to see some plat moments here. But let's pause a second and look back here at what happens in the in this overtime. We're still going through here. Already seen a few moments from both teams. Well, a moment from both teams. There will be more. It is 3-minute overtime. Nothing too special right now. That here is a decent look for Falcons, but what happens? A nice touch from Ian gets it away, but it's right to TRK. That's a bit of a mistouch there, a misjump, a bump from Lost, a really good pass. Again, Nupo with an incredible save. This here easily could have been a goal. Nupo, let's go back one more time. Let's see what he does here. First of all, he jumps here and he bumps Lost. So not necessarily a great touch. So he causes this, right? But he recovers from his bump, which I know even though he bumped somebody, obviously he has to recover. And recover he does. He gets the incredible save. TRK clears it. A whiff from Card. Again, whiffs on both sides. But Lost definitely, luckily Lost has it. Now a mistake from Ahmad. So this is probably one of the only mistakes I noticed. Or sorry, not Ahmad. It's Nupo. Again, a slight mistake out of Nupo. He has some incredible moments. A little bit some weaker moments. Look at this. Not a great touch. He bounces it straight to a Furia player. Yan gets a good look. And I'm going to be completely honest. This is a bit of a mistake. Poor placement. We talked about good placement. That's poor placement. Yan puts it right at all the Falcons players. Look at how clumped up they are. So TRK is dead center of goal already. So I'm pausing right here. Yes, the other two players jump into it, but he shot the ball right at TRK, and all three players could have made that save. It was a triple commit, and then Card's going to miss this ball. Well, actually, it's not a miss. It's a pass. This is the miss. So this is a miss from Lost. I'm going a little bit too much on this, but it was a lot of, like, plat plays. His recovery and speed is his best weapon. Oh, for sure, Nupo, because even if he makes a mistake, he recovers. So for sure, Alexander, you are correct. But look at this here. It's a miss from Lost. So not a great touch from Yan, in my opinion. But what he did do is he caused a triple commit. So this is a chance for Furia. Falcons have triple committed. This could be game. But what happens? Instead of going for the shot, which would have been one person in the back line, Card maybe makes a smart play. Card says, I'm going to pass it. He had to have told his teammate. You see him talking. He passes it to Lost. This is a really good pass. An open net. I want to pause it right here because if Lost hit this, it's an open net in the top right corner. Or not open, but if he hits it to the right side, it's a goal. A lot of pat plays. Exactly. It's a lot of pat plays. Lost misses it here. So another like pat/plat play. And Lost, like he misses this pass. It would have been in.
He misses. That was the opportunity. And
a lot of opportunities now on both sides.
Card could punish him for that.
And now Falcons, they got away with one here. They easily could have lost that series right there.
Falcons survive an onslaught from Furia.
What a level both teams are
now
playing
Falcons,
at right
Ahmad's going to get it past two. A really good beat, but Lost gets it there.
He takes the ball all by himself past
Another
two players.
50.
TRK up against Card. In the center now, Poe's waiting for.
Again, it's not like every touch Lost made was bad. It's just he had some bad moments. He also had some good moments, but they didn't really make up for it because they never scored. So that's another mistake. I'm not going to highlight this one too much, but look, I think Lost missed this ball as well. But let's look at this here. Look at this. Lost is going to miss the ball.
This time, so Lost, he can hit it cleanly, but now the mistakes are starting to happen. The pressure starting to mount for both teams.
Yan, a good touch. He's going to 50. Not terrible. Another mistake from Lost. And this is a tough ball to read, and I don't want to harp on Lost mistakes too much. But look at this. He should have jumped. He should have cleared this ball. He definitely had the ability to. I mean, look at this. It's the slightest of errors that cause these things to happen. But in this moment, right, based on this positioning, Lost could easily clear. Instead, he doesn't quite predict this bounce off the wall, and he has to backflip. I'll admit, once the ball's on his hood, he has to backflip. Platinum. That's a good one, Mystic. It is Platinum. And that's a backflip play from Lost. Again, not terrible, but it causes his team to have to get this. And then look at this from Lost. It's just, it's mistake compounding other mistakes. Lost bumps Yan. Look at that. Lost bumps into Yan. I don't know what he's doing there, what he's thinking there, and it's very dangerous. That was a moment that Falcons could have scored because of that triple commit. That was effectively a triple commit out of Furia. Now both teams are triple committed. There's been a team bump, a bunch of whiffs from Lost, but they're still in it. It's still overtime. They're one goal away. Lost now gets the ball. Well, nothing terrible there, but we'll keep. I should have been counting how many Platinum moments there were, but let's keep this going here. Ahmad. Nice touch to the corner. There's a good touch from Lost, finally. He does get it downfield. That's what you do want to see. Now Yan. A scoring opportunity, but TRK saves it away. Again, nothing too crazy from what we're seeing now. A good clear downfield. Here's Lost again. What does he do this time? He's bumped, so again, nothing terrible yet. That's a bad touch. So let's talk about it here. TRK, this is just a poor touch. TRK here, obviously this is on target. I believe it's going to be on target. Let's check this one more time. It's so slow though that TRK is all the time in the world, even if this is a shot, right? TRK did not have to rush this. He should have hit it to Ahmad. He should have passed it to Ahmad or cleared it all the way downfield. Instead, he hits it right at Yan, and there's no other way around it. TRK just hit it right at Yan, and now Yan has a chance to score, which should not have happened. What does Yan do? He goes for an air dribble play, flip reset. That was way more dangerous than it should have been. Ahmad makes up for TRK's mistake though, so it doesn't matter. But again, way closer than it should have been. Yan had a real chance there at a play. Look at that, another team bump. This time from Falcons. So now this is what I was getting at. Both teams had team bumps in every game. Let's look at this here. TRK bumps Nupo, and I guess in TRK's defense, he was trying to go for the ball. Obviously, the ball was on Nupo's hood. But still, a team bump is a team bump. It's sloppy play. It's sloppy communication. Falcons, though, still on offense. And now Ahmad's going to get a great touch here. So this is the moment I meant when I said Lost kind of lost the game for his team. Another same unintentional pun. Lost is lost. Fooney even making the puns as well. Look at this touch. This is a mistake. Now, I want to mention Card did not have a great touch here. This was a mistake from Card, but it's not as big. Card he lets it get too far away from him, so TRK gets a shot. And again, in Lost's defense, this is a shot on net. It is a shot on net. Yeah, I laugh at my own jokes. That's okay. Lost, it's a shot on net. Lost has to get the save, but the save he gets is just not good enough. He flips into the ball, and actually, I will say, to Lost credit, it's not as bad as it's not a terrible touch. He's hitting it away. There's Falcons players in all areas of the pitch, so he tries to hit it away from them. But the thing is, he didn't predict that Nupo would be very quick to this ball. In fact, actually, now that I'm watching it back in slow-mo a bit, this is actually more on Nupo creating an incredibly fast shooting opportunity. But I'll still say, Lost should have had a clear. I'll just say it. He could have had a better clear. But that's just an incredibly fast shot from Nupo. And then the last part of this play, the thing that puts it all together is the player view we're watching. Look at the bottom of your screen. Look at this car. TRK on 0 boost manages to bump Yan. And this is the slowest speed bump I have ever seen. He is on 0 boost. He is literally just driving. He drives into him and flips after the fact, but he still manages to bump him enough. It's enough of a bump, and Nupo scores. This was the best game, the best series, I should say, of the day today, and it was still such a platinum moment. Such a platinum moment. So funny, Pat. Yep. I know we're all joking around, but seriously though, what a series. So don't get me wrong, both these teams had mistakes, but still, the ice on Nupo to get that 0 second, or it wasn't 0 seconds, but to get the 5-second goal, to get the overtime goal, Nupo has ice. He has it. So this whole team, I'll play the celebration for a little bit. They really deserved it. Actually, there's going to be music, so I don't want the music in case it's not streamer safe. But what a performance. What a performance from them. So you love to see it. You love to see it. platinum is the highest rank possible. Oh, I appreciate it, Alexander. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You can't tell if I'm joking or not. Well, Funi, I know you saying ha 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 is joking, but then I don't know if the so funny Pat is joking. So maybe you're right. Now I see a bunch of hearts in stream. By the way, I really appreciate everyone that's still here. We've actually, this has like been a very high viewership stream, so I really appreciate everyone sticking it out. We are almost done, but we have one group, and we're not going to be done with the stream because there's one more thing I want to do. But we have one more group left, one more group to go through. It is Group D. Oh boy, this one did not go as I expected. I'll just say it. I talked about my first big miss was definitely all the way back up here. It was Oxygen beating Vitality. I did not expect that. My other big mistake was I did not expect version 1. I'm just going to say it. I didn't think they could beat Liquid. I didn't think it was possible that they would beat Liquid, and they did. They played very well. It was a Game 5 win, but they pulled it off. Version 1 managed to win 3v3 games against Liquid. Maybe I should have seen it coming. It wasn't like they were a terrible 3v3 team as they won a Regional 2 in spring in North America. So this wasn't unprecedented. But after their drop-off in Regionals 1 and 3, and they had such poor performances, I really didn't expect much in Gamers8. Now, I think it's likely they make it to playoffs. I still think Liquid can do it. In fact, I would predict Liquid, but I'm going to say it, being in this upper bracket final is a huge boon, because now even if version 1 lose to Rule 1, which that is actually definitely likely, I think version 1 are the favorites in going into this match. Even if they lose to Rule 1, they have a whole nother chance. So clearly, you got to favor version 1 to make playoffs. I'd say the favorites to make playoffs, probably version 1 and Rule 1. Rule 1, then version 1, then Liquid. It's not out of the woods for Liquid, but you got to favor version 1 just because of the placement in the group. And part of it is the fact that Secret's no pushovers. So I think Liquid and Secret, that might be a spicy matchup. And then the winner of that is going to play against the loser here. So a really tough going for all these teams. The only ones that have easier being, version 1, Rule 1, because they have that. 2 chances. V1 did pretty good. Alexander said, yeah, I mean, I just said it. They did. And I know they dropped a game here to sub, but really not that bad. I think not terrible, because again, I knew they would be weaker in 3v3, and they did win a game. So they won 1 game, lost 1 game. The 1v1 though, that's something crazy, 11-3, and then an overtime 2v2 win for version 1. So good play from them. Virgin Olive Oil 1 did pretty good. Have I seen the video of Calm yelling? I did see that clip on the subreddit, and I was joking about it because someone mentioned Rise yelled after BDS beat Twisted Minds, and I said both Calm and Rise did the same thing. They yelled even though they didn't play in the 2v2 or the 1v1. So it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny to see. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Within reason, I think trash talk is a good thing. It's not good to spout profanities or be mean, but a lot of this is just, it's not mean-spirited. They're trash talking because it's banter. And that's banter is good for the scene. It'll help the scene grow. And yeah, I think what Calm does is just banter. At least I would like to hope that he's not, I don't think he has beef with any of the Liquid players. There have been beefs before in Rocket League, but thankfully not many, because I don't like beefs. I like banter, but beefs goes a bit too far. I don't like people really hating each other, like actually not liking each other. That's no fun. Lost actually assisted Falcons on both goals in Game 5. Yeah, Zuko, that's why I said it, and I don't want to be mean, but it did feel like he kind of lost the game there for his team. I keep unintentionally making the pun, but it feels like he was the reason they didn't win there, but he's not the only reason. But it was pretty critical in that end of the game. Everyone doing emojis. Oh, is it suspect in another person? Zuko just realized. I don't know what you just realized. Oh, are you both doing the emojis? I get it now. Very nice. I can see them all, which is funny. Wagyu beef. Oh, yeah. The Wagyu beef. I understand. The finest of beefs. And you guys are going to get to hash it out in a 1v1 at some point on my stream. Well, we're definitely going to make that happen. Not today, though. Not today. Let's finish this up. It's almost 10 p.m. where I am, and I know people are going to start dropping like flies, and I want to get to the video part of the video. So, because we're going to make a video at the end of this, by the way. We're going to record. But let's quickly let's recap. So, version 1 Suh, I kind of already said it all. They actually look better than I expected. I still thought the V1 could sweep this. Even though I thought they were going to lose to Liquid, I thought they were going to play well here. To their credit, Suh won in overtime 3v3, forced in overtime in 2v2. By far, their only weak moment was the 1v1, and that's against Daniel. So what do you expect? They don't have a ones player. So not a lot to talk about there. Version 1, solid. Especially Daniel, again, 1v1. Solid 1v1. Oat milk. Oat understands. I don't know what you mean, Poonie. Thank you guys again for all the hearts. I'm going to quickly check if we've reached our sub goal. We are 1 away as my last check. We are still 1 away. So we're at 309. If anyone's new, I appreciate it if you subbed. We're almost at our goal for the day. And, every little bit helps. And it helps you get notified. If you appreciate the content, you'll get notified about future videos and streams. But in the meantime, let's talk about this Liquid version 1 game. Because this was a game. This was a doozy. Again, one of those games that it went to game 5. It easily could have gone either way. That last 3v3. Has to be said, the 2v2 was won by version 1. I did not expect that. If you told me if the version 1 won, I would have expected that they won the 1v1 and lost the 2v2, but no, it went the other way. They won the 2v2 and they lost the 1v1. Atao really stepped up here for Liquid. They could have lost 3-1. He stepped it up. He won the 1v1, forced game 5, but unfortunately his team couldn't put it together. It would have been a reverse sweep because version 1 also won the first threes game. So getting into it, it kind of really goes down to those threes game. The threes games are the reason that version 1 won. They won 2 out of 3 of the threes games. So definitely got to win more subs. I appreciate it, Alexander. I don't know if you were before. I assume you already are subbed. But let me check if that was the difference maker. It was the difference maker and someone else as well. So thank you guys, everyone that subbed. We met our goal. So woo, congratulations to me. I guess I'm congratulating myself, but I appreciate it. Yeah, Hedge. Also, thank you, Hedge. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. We are at 311, so I appreciate your guys' support. I'll update it. Well, it always feels cheap just upping the goal, but I'm probably just going to up the goal. But we hit the goal for today, so no, now it's not a big deal, but I appreciate all of it. I appreciate it. Now, but yeah, welcome to the stream, Hedge, if you're new. I appreciate your support here. Suspect says, I hate people who play slow in ones. That's why I loved this 1v1 versus Yan and TRK. A lot of offense, high pace of play. I prefer that. Patience annoys me. Fair enough. Pat, can you give me some of your wisdom? Like a quote of the day. Quote of the day? Ooh, I'll think of a quote of the day based around this tournament. Okay, I already have it because it was one of my other surprising things. Quote of the day. Never count out the coach even though they're retired. Because Chrome was literally never count him. I don't know if you just don't count out coaches. Because another one, this is going back a while back, but Endpoint played with their coach, who's at the time Eclipse was the coach of Endpoint. This was back in like RLCS, like the first season after X, like the last season. Anyway, he subbed in at some point in a closed qualifier, and they won still, if I remember right. So. Never doubt the coaches, man. They may be retired, or in Eclipse's case, he never even was a pro. But never count out the coaches, man. I don't know. Sounds specific. It is specific because I'm talking about Chrome beating Pioneers. But yeah, Chrome still got it. But let's get back into this. So it was a really close series. As I mentioned, it really came down to those 3v3s. I think version 1, they really had the ice. They won it. They pulled it out. They pulled out the W, and they got it done. If you're looking towards the future, I think Liquid are not out of it by any means, but they're just gonna have to bounce back. And again, an overtime in this 2v2 game could have been the decider. Liquid easily could have won, but they didn't. Version 1 got the job done. And so to round out the group, we'll do this bottom part of the bracket. Secret versus Koi. I think I power ranked Koi quite high, perhaps maybe a bit too high, given they don't have a 1v1er, and that showed here. Surprisingly to me, she's actually put up a really good fight against KV1, but it still wasn't enough, and that's what ultimately lost them the series. It was their final game, but to be fair, they also lost the 2v2 and the 1v1. Interesting to me is Gyro played in the 2v2. I thought it would be Sosa and Cheese, if I'm being honest, but Gyro was in, and they did well. They may have lost, but it wasn't overtime. All their losses, by the way, were 1 goal. Even the 1v1. Excuse me. I'm burping. But so a really close series here from Koi, but they still, only took 1 game. I think Koi showed some promise, but I still don't expect much out of them in this event, if I'm going to be honest. Meanwhile, Secret, they got the job done. I would like to see more, but they got the job done. That said, the job was not done in the next series. Because let's talk about this. The most one-sided series of the day, by far, was Rule 1 and Secret. They won by 3 games in the first game. 3 goals in game 1. In game 2, Rabas in a 1v1 versus Team Secret, 13-4. What a score line there. That is a popping off score line. I don't know why they chose 1v1. I'm going to be completely honest. They won a 2v2 earlier, and I know it was against Koi, but they won the 2v2. I don't know why they wouldn't pick 2v2 again. But they pick 1v1. It was a mistake. They lose it. And then, although maybe they would have lost by more in twos, I doubt it though. 13-4, you would imagine they should have picked twos. But anyway, Hedge says ones. We are going to do a ones tournament, Hedge. Not today, but in the future. So if you subscribe, you know, what you did, which I appreciate, just stay tuned. There's also, I have a Discord. If you want to be in the 1v1 tournament, it would probably be advised to be in the Discord and read the rules and accept them. I'll add people after, like, to the chatting, but I'm definitely going to post it in there to sign up for it later on. So be on the lookout for that. We can run ones after the stream, Suspect says. You guys can do that. I'm obviously not going to do ones show matches today, but in the future I will. If you lose, you're never speaking to Funi again. Tough. Your ego will be hurt. Fair enough, though. 4 Team Secret. Pat, stop showing that. Okay. I'll stop showing it. 4 Team Secret is correct, though. It was a poor series from them. Like I said, they played well against Koi. Well, not super well, but they did their job against Koi. Did not against Rule 1. And that's why I favor Rule 1 against Version 1 so much. I already obviously ranked them higher, but I think Rule 1 had a dominant series, and so they're gonna... I'm sorry, Funi, I didn't notice. I think there's a bit of a delay, but I have stopped showing it now. But Secret lost, yeah. But anyway, I forgot you were a Secret fan. Sorry. The good news for Secret, actually, Funi, because I'll talk up why they might succeed, is I do think they have threes in the bag. I know these were 1-goal games, but I think that, not in the bag, but I think they're really solid in threes, and I think they can put a fight up against Liquid. They're not going to be favorites by any means, but it is possible. It is possible they make it to playoffs, even if unlikely. It's still possible. That said, that pretty much wraps up the recap portion of the stream. If you have anything else you want to talk about, let me know right now before we move on. I think there's a bit of a delay, but I'll see it. But we are running into the end of that, so I'm going to quickly check 2 things. One, I'm going to check the Discord, because I'm sure I've missed people joining, so let me check that. Well, yeah, we got a bunch of new people, so thank you, everybody. Thank you to the 3 of you. I don't know who it was in particular. All 3 of you, thank you for joining. I'll sort out the ability to speak later. I have to add you manually. Let me also check the subscribers before we move on. We are still at 311. Makes sense. I appreciate everyone getting us to our goal. It was very appreciated. You're the biggest fan? Who's a fan of Secret? Somebody I know is a fan of Secret besides you. Somebody on the subreddit. But you probably are the biggest. I mean, you're probably a bigger fan than them. Pat, do you have to do a 1v1 grudge match? You have to, so I can bury this kid. I'm sorry, not tonight. We don't have time because it's getting late. But there's one thing, and I've talked about it. I'm talked it up. We're going to do it right now. We are going to do a suggestion I got the other day in the Discord. So by the way, join the Discord if you're interested in leaving video suggestions. I actually look at them. We are going to rate logos, and then we are going to predict. I have a whole brand new predictions thing up. We're going to predict the results of the tournament just using logos. And I know that some results have already happened and this is going to come out late, but that's okay. We're just going to do it anyway. So let's quickly here rate logos. So in fact, let me see if I can get chat up, because I might just get chat on the screen for this. Let me see if I can do it. Let's see here. Cancel that. Is that right? Is that right? Nope, that's not right. There we go. Oh, nope, that's not right. You guys are seeing my view. There we go. What did I do? Oh, that's what I did wrong. Okay. I think I've sorted this out. Now, if I do this, I should show chat, right? Unless I've done this wrong. Okay, sorry guys, that took forever. I figured out chat. There we go. Chat is on screen. Let me know if you guys see chat on screen. This is a poor way to do it, but it'll work. Maybe if I go a little smaller, we'll be able to see everything. So there we go. It's a little bit smaller. Let me quickly make this so it looks. Monkey's S tier. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I haven't even been reading chat. Let's quickly read chat before I start this. I'm going to start a recording. So you guys are going to be in the video, by the way. Don't, if you say anything crazy, I'm not going to be able to show that part of the video. So don't say anything that can't be shown in the YouTube video. Secret is F tier. Rule 1 goes so hard. There's just a lot of opinions here, but you know what? Let's talk about it. I do like the monkeys logo. So let me quickly record, then I'll start talking about it. So by the way, I am going to quickly do an intro for the video. Don't be alarmed. You're still on a live stream, but it's going to sound like a YouTube video for a second. Because I'm going to try and just avoid having to do an intro later. So bear with me. Hey everybody, it's AskPat13. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be ranking, doing a tier list, I should say, for the logos for all the different teams at Gamers8, which a lot of them are RLCS teams, so we're doing logos for the Gamers8 teams, and I'm doing this live, so if you want to be involved in a video like this, make sure to check it out when I go live. If you're subscribed, you can get notifications for when I go live, and I also post live notifications in a Discord, so check the pinned comment to see an invite to the Discord where I post when I go live. In the meantime, though, you know, enjoy this tier list, and you can see chat for the first time in a full video. I'm going to leave chat up, so you'll see what they're talking about during these videos. We have people saying, hi, YouTube, and I was here. So, yeah, hell, future me, hello. All good things to say. Let's start off. One thing I was seeing in chat, a lot of people saying it, S tiers for monkeys. So let's talk about it. It's not an automatic S tiers, but let's talk about it. I do think it is a nice logo. I like that it's simplistic, but it still gets the image across. It's not just a monkey, it's a confident monkey. That monkey knows he's going to win, and I like that. It's a confident monkey, but again, it's not too complex. It's like, it looks like it was made in paint, but it's like better than I could do in paint. So all those are big pluses, and honestly, I think I am going to leave it S tier. I consider it A tier, but I am going to leave it S tier. I am going to leave it S tier. So, Mystic, why are you saying that in a recorded video? But let's keep going, let's keep going. In the meantime, what's next? Let's do BDS. I like BDS as a team, but their logo is not great. I'm going to call it C tier. It's kind of just an awkward logo. Not terrible. It is distinct, but I like their old logo better, and so I'm going to leave it in C tier. I'm going to leave it in C tier. In the meantime, what's next? I'm just pointing out at random. Rule 1. I like Rule 1. This is a little bit of a snippet. I'm not going to be able to change screens, but I'll probably pop up on screen if I'm editing this. Hopefully I am. Maybe I'm lazy. Maybe I'm too lazy for this, but the Rule 1 logo, it's nice, but it's not great. So I'm going to leave it in B tier. Yeah, it is really just a letter with some lines. So I'm going to leave it B tier, but for a logo that is just a letter, it's not bad. It's not bad for just being a letter. So I see A's and B's. It's criminal. I'm leaving it in B. Sorry, guys. Again, this is not rating the teams, just the logos. Next up, Gaming Gladiators. It's a weird logo. I don't want to call it F. In fact, no. I'm going to call it B. Similar. Yeah, we'll call it B. It's much more creative than Rule 1, and it is creative for being just 2-letter G's, but it's not. It doesn't really do a lot for me. It doesn't sell me. You know what? Then again, it kind of does look like a gladiator helmet, which makes me want to bump it up. I'll put it above Rule 1. It kind of looks like a gladiator helmet, but not enough. Not enough for me. Spartan helmet. See, Fune sees it more than I do. I see it when I think about it. You know what? Okay, I see it. I see it a little more now. I think I see what you're talking about. It's the negative space. They made a Spartan helmet with the negative space. I see it. I see it. Is it not G's? I always thought it was Gaming Gladiators. It was 2 G's, but is it actually just a Spartan helmet and I've been seeing the positive space instead of the negative space? It is the negative space. I see it now. I bumped it up to A. I like that. It is a kind of now it actually is better because it does have a G in it. 2 G's for that matter, an inverse G, but it also is a helmet. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, next up is Falcons. So I'm just gonna go in order because I might as well just go in order. Falcons. I'm not sure. I'm not sold. It's not terrible. It does clearly have the Falcons head. And it's a logo. What I appreciate about the Falcons logo is it's actually a logo. It's not letters. So that's nice. So honestly, that just puts it in A tier alone. The fact that it doesn't have letters in it. Because I don't like the letters logos. And it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one at all. So I'd bump it up to A. I'll bump it up to A. I don't think it's S. It is, one color logos are also better. So for that reason, I'll put it above Gladiators because I think when you have the simpler the logo, the simpler logo, the better. But it still needs to have an image of that team name, and obviously Falcons does. So it's all. It might go up later. It might go up later because now that I'm thinking about all the things I actually like that I say I like in a logo, it really has almost all of them. So It might go up to S later. We'll see how we get when we get deeper in. Next up, Vitality. This is the great one because it is a B. I'm just going to say it. I think it's S tier. It's a V for Vitality, but it also is very clearly a B, which is their mascot. So I just feel like it gets everything. Booney, what am I throwing? I'm not throwing. I should say BDS is not a letter, but I still, for some reason, I don't know. I just don't like it. Nah, Vitality S tier. I mean, it gets everything across, in my opinion. And it rhymes with B. Oh, that's true. Extra points. I didn't like letters in the logos, but that's the thing. This isn't actually a letter. It's a B. Those are the wings. It's like when the letter is hidden, it's fine. So it's a hidden letter. Also, Hedge, I'm kind of inconsistent. I'll just admit it. But I think the letter is hidden well enough. It's not that I don't like letters. It has to be hidden. So another example of a hidden letter. I'll skip ahead. Oxygen, right? This is a hidden letter. I'm not putting it in B. I'm just talking about it, by the way. It's a hidden letter. It's clearly an O for Oxygen, but they actually hid it well. So although a lot of people like the old Oxygen better, I think this logo is much better than their old logo. And in fact, I almost think I'll put it A tier. I think it's solid. It's solid. Secret, or people, we'll skip ahead to Team Secret. It's an I. I don't like it. It doesn't give me Secret vibes. So I think I'm going to put it C. It's not an F. It isn't an F for me because it is a nice, it's not too complicated. It's not too complicated. So I'm going to leave it in C. People are going to have completely different opinions. By the way, this is not a chat's opinion, but your opinions are here because obviously people can see you. Hopefully they can see you in the chat. But it's not, this is my opinions and you guys are just along for the ride. But I'm going to leave it in C. Next up, I'll do one of the weird ones. Koi. It is a weird logo. And it might be the first one in F. No, I'm thinking about it. I considered it, but I don't want to put it in F. Because it's not... I like the purple flames. You put Oxygen over Secret? Yeah, wait, what's wrong with Oxygen's logo, Funi? Wait, do you like Secret's logo? It's tilting? I'm sorry. It's not an F. You know what? Actually, I will say better than BDS. I'm actually going to bump them above BDS. Better than BDS. They're not bottom of C. I'll put them up near the top of C. But Koi, on the other hand, not only do they have their full name in their logo, which is kind of weird, but their logo doesn't... In fact, no. I'm going to knock it to F. It doesn't give us anything. It doesn't give us any... Nah, I'm torn. I'll leave it in C. I'm torn because it's kind of like... It has some vision to it, but I don't see Koi. I don't know. I'll leave it in the bottom of C. All right, next up, what do we want to do next? One thing I find interesting is Limitless. Let's talk about it. Their name is Limitless, and their logo is an infinity sign. Very fitting. I actually really like this. I think it is very fitting to have. I don't wash my hands after a shower, but anyway. But it is definitely nice. It's a nice fit to have an infinity sign in their logo. So I think I'm going to leave this A. In fact, I'm going to bump it up right below Falcons. I like that their logo is an infinity sign, honestly. Let's do next Suh. Now, this is not an actual org. It is just a team, and I'm just going to put them in F because their logo is just their name. It's just Suh with, like, orange letters. So, yeah, that's pretty much F. The milk before the cereal. You guys are being too. You guys are you guys are ruthless. But yeah, I don't like Suh that much. It's just their name. But it's okay. They're just a team. They don't have to make a logo. The fact they made a logo at all is good because they don't have an org to support them. By the way, anyone that's new, we are doing rating the logos. This is not rating the teams, it's rating the logos. But let's keep going. Next up, let's talk about it. Version 1. Yes, they hit a 1 in the V, but it is very obviously just a V and a 1. So I'm going to be brutal. And say F tier because they didn't even try to hide that it's literally just their name. Because people also call them V1. So I think it's not enough. It is too much just the letters for me. Yeah, F tier. It's better than Suh. I'll give it that. Well, actually, if I'm going to put them above Koi, am I going to put them above Koi? Maybe that knocks Koi down to F. No. Koi is a little more to it. You know what? Let's talk about Optic. Because honestly, it's such a boring logo from Optic. I hate to say it. And now my favorite teams, it looks like I don't like them. But it's just their logos, man. They're not good. Why couldn't they have like a logo like one of these ones? Any of these ones, even Rule 1's better. But Optic, it is simple, and I said I like simple, but it's too simple. There's not enough. There's not enough to it. Welcome Toby. We're ranking logos of the teams at Gamers8. Stop, Fooney. Do you like Optic's logo? Clean his ears with a toothbrush. You guys are brutal. You guys are brutal. Oh, Suspect says secret F tier. Nah, I'm leaving this as is. But yeah, F tier for Optic just because it's too simple. It gives nothing. There's nothing there. Next, let's talk about FaZe Clan. They suffer the same fate. It's too little. It's just an F. I don't like the logo at all. Maybe even worse than Optic. Yeah, worse than Optic. It's too boring. Too boring. Well, it's a little less boring than Optic, but it's not very good. Not very good. You're tilted. Sorry, Fooney. We have very different tastes then. Next up, another letter one. Let's do Carbon Core. Now, this might get me some hate if Carbon Core fans see this. It's not terrible, but it's pretty bad. I'm going to put it right below Secret, because it really is just a K for Carbon Core, but at least they have a swirly. I like the swirl. Gives it a little bit of, it gives it more, what am I thinking of? More life to it. It gives it more personality. The Carbon Core logo has more personality than version 1. And I said it. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. They are going to throw hands. But for the record, Blue Ball, if you watch this, trust me, there are way worse logos. You should be proud to be in Seer. That's passing. You guys passed, okay? You didn't fail like some of these other logos. Speaking of the other logos, let's get into some of these other ones. So next up, Ninjas in Pajamas. I think this one suffers from being a little too complex. It is a symbol, and I appreciate that it's a symbol. You know, the more I'm looking at this, the more I do want to bump Secret up a tier, because I feel like Nip is just a symbol, and I kind of don't think it gives me... Well, actually, wait, I take it back. It is above Secret. And I just realized, why, it's a ninja star. Duh. It's literally a ninja star. I see it now. That's better, because it does relate to their name. It's a ninja star. It looks really weird. Oh, man. Suspect is no mercy. You guys have no mercy in general. I think it looks weird, but I see that it's a ninja star, and I'm glad I saw that. In fact, that actually probably bumps it above Rule 1. So I like that it's a ninja star. So that's good. It's a shuriken. Yeah. Twisted Minds is a brain. Oh, let's talk about Twisted Minds. They also have, they have Arabic around it. I think this logo that on this list is just the brain, and I think they have a version of it that's just the brain. So I'll just talk about the brain. I like that it relates to their name. So that's it instantly puts it into at least C tier. It's not F because it literally is related to their name. No, I'll bump it up. It is related to their name. I do think Rule 1's is a bit cleaner, so I'll leave Rule 1 above them. Although Rule 1 is so basic. But Twisted Minds, I do like that it is a brain. It's about their name. Oh, wait. Oh, is it a word? Wait. Okay, I'm going to have to actually leave. Sorry for the video, but we're going to briefly look at their logo, because if it's a little more complicated than I realized. So, oh, can you guys see this? I don't think you can. Here, let me just open up the image. Okay. Is this in the midst here actually Arabic? Can someone in chat let me know? Are these like lines Arabic? Because if this is an Arabic word, I don't know how I feel about that. On the one hand, I don't like words, but it is very well hidden, especially if you don't know Arabic. So is it a word? Is it a word? And if it is a word, what does it say? It's like S? It's growing on me. It is growing on me. But let me know what it means, because I need to know if it is a word, what it means. Otherwise, I won't know where to put it, because what it means will change where I put it. Never gonna beat the word allegations? Is that what it means? Now I'm confused. Does Daniel know Arabic? I don't think so. Selug? That can't be what it means. That doesn't mean anything. Or does it mean something? Is it like the initials of the owner or something? I've seen like orgs name themselves after owners before. I forget which one it was, but somebody did that. Maybe it was BDS is the initials of the CEO or something. I forget. Some org is like that. Well, anyway, it looks like chat doesn't know either, and that's okay. So we don't know what it says, but we do know it's Arabic calligraphy, and honestly, that does bump it up a bit. It just says brain. That would be really... Okay, if it is brain, if it is a brain with spelling out brain, that is funny to me. If that actually is what it is, so that bumps it all the way up to A. Honestly, that's we'll see. If there's too many in A, I will bump somebody up to S. So I'm gonna leave it in A for now, but it easily could get bumped up by the end of the video. But I see you, Hedge. I'm just gonna leave it in A. It's Mind and Twisted. Okay, Mind and Twisted. I would have preferred if it actually just said Brain, but that's still pretty funny. So I'll leave it in A. If it actually says Twisted Mind, that's too literal. I wanted it to just say Brain. That would have been better. I'll put it below Falcons because it actually fully spells out their name. That's a little less good. Okay. Wait. Come on, let's take monkeys out of S and put Twisted Minds. No, we're not taking monkeys out. It's a determined monkey. That's exactly what their name is. I don't know what else you want. Let's talk about Pioneers though, because I do think it's not a bad horse logo, but is Pioneers, do I really get the image of a horse from the name Pioneers? And I don't think so. I don't think I do. So I'm going to put it right around Secret. I'm going to put it a little bit above Secret, maybe right here in C tier. Because it's just a horse. It's not a bad horse, but it doesn't feel as tied to their brand as me. Which, speaking of branding, we got to talk about Liquid, because they also have a horse. And I got to say, if Liquid were a brand new org, this logo would be pretty low, because I feel like that's nothing to do with Liquid. But, and this is biased a bit, but everyone knows Liquid brand so well that I think it bumps their logo up because their brand has become attached to the logo, even though in my opinion, Liquid and a horse have nothing to do with each other. Booney, what are you saying? Are you saying Liquid should be better? So I think Liquid, because of that brand identity, I'm going to bump them up to the top of B. But I don't know. I don't like it very much, but I'm going to bump it up to B because, again, it's a very strong identity. Maybe because I use Liquipedia so much, but a very strong identity. Very strong. Do you honestly like having Oxygen in A tier? Yes, Daniel. What's wrong with Oxygen? Everyone's commented on that, okay? There's nothing wrong. I think this is better than their old one. I'm just going to say it. It's better than their old logo, okay? I know that people might disagree. A brand identity is fine for Liquid, but it's not considered for FaZe. Okay. You know what? You have me there. I'm going to bump them up a tier because you said that, which does knock Koi down. That's too many teams in C. So I'll give it to you. FaZe has brand identity. I'll admit it. If I'm going to, you're right, because I can't talk about it for one, but not for another. So I'll bump FaZe up a bit. In fact, if they're going to be in this tier, they're probably better than BDS. I'll just say it. So here we go. Please save your monitor by moving Oxygen. You guys are convinced Oxygen moved down. They're only going to move down if we get too many teams near the top. So we'll see what happens. We're nearing the end here, so they might move down. They might move down to the top of B. But let's keep going. We got G2. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is probably one of the most nostalgic logos for me. So I'm kind of, even though I'm a fan of BDS and Optic, I didn't become a fan of the teams because of the teams. I'm a fan of their players. Whereas I was a fan of G2's team for a very long time. So I kind of like this logo. I will say it has G2 in it, which is bad. But it is a ninja, which has kind of been G2's brand for a while. Again, brand identity. I'll bump it up to B. Top of B. Solid, nice solid logo. A little too complicated to get any higher, but it's nice. Cancel Pat over the logos? Really? No, I'm kidding. See, truly, you guys are crazy, man. You guys are underrating Oxygen. Listen, it's like a chemical symbol. That's the vibe I get. It's like Oxygen. Like it's feels to me like it's a hidden O. I don't know. I'll leave it there, guys, unless something changes here near the end. So next up, let's talk Elevate's logo. This one is weird for me because on the one hand, I do think the mountaintop. Like, showing mountaintops does link up to elevating, like getting higher elevation. I do see it. I see it, right? I see it, but it's still just not good. It doesn't feel like a logo for an esports team. And for that reason, I think I'm going to leave it. Just because it does link to their name, I'm going to leave it in C. But if this stays the way it stays, it's probably going to drop down to F, if I'm being honest. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so next up, Gen G. Another one tied to a history. It's iconic, Gen G's logo. I don't like that it's just their letters, so I'm probably just going to leave it in B. But I'll leave it right here with some of the other iconic logos. It looks so ugly, and for that reason, I'm out. Fair enough. Next up is Furia. I like Furia's logo. Furia obviously isn't like a thing, or maybe it is. Does Furia mean something in Portuguese? I don't know if it means something in Portuguese, but I like that they've tied themselves to that like panther. And I think I like their logo. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a good logo. I think it's solidly A. I think it's A, which does leave. Well, actually, we have one more team, but then we're gonna start moving teams around. Send you this? What do you mean? I'll probably take a picture of this and put it in the Discord if you want. Oh, you mean the link? Okay. Here's the link if you want to do it yourself. I assume that you meant the link. Furia just means fury. Okay, if it means fury, and it's like a furious, clearly, obviously, the panther looks furious. So I like it. I like it. I think I did send you the link. Welcome, Chubby. Yeah. I'm gonna unlock your ability to speak if you react to that message in the rules section. I just haven't got time to, but I'm gonna everyone that's joined Discord. By the way, if you are enjoying the content, join the Discord. You know, I post about going live, post about videos. Although I just realized I think I forgot to post that I was live, but that's okay. I usually do. I notify people in there, and you know, it's just a place for people to talk. They're talking through Gamers8. So if you want live discussions during Gamers8, that's one place to go have some great live discussions. In the meantime, though, let's do this last logo. I'm gonna have to cut out parts of this video, but that's okay. The last logo is Ground Zero Gaming. Oh boy, where to put Ground Zero? I'm not entirely sure because on the one hand, I do like that it's clearly related to the toxic symbol, you know, like radiation / toxic symbol. But they have GZ, they have letters in the logo, and that's an instant downgrade. So it's probably gonna sit in around the middle area. We'll say we'll bump it up to B. We'll bump it up to B. And now I gotta shift some things around because this is not even enough for my liking. So we're gonna bump Elevate down a tier just to even things out a bit. We'll bump Falcons up. Maybe we bump G2 up. And then we bumped Twisted Minds up. So whether or not you agree, because I know that's kind of which ones I chose to bump up and down, but I just want it to be even. Because I feel like you're judging them as a group. So even though Monkeys and Vitality are pretty clear of these two, as in the whole group, Falcons and Twisted Minds are S tier logos, I think. Because especially Falcons, I mentioned all the reasons. I think Falcons and Vitality are like traditional logos that I like because they have a lot of the elements that I like. Meanwhile, Monkeys is a non-traditional logo, but I still like it. And then Twisted Minds is like Arabic, so it doesn't have the same punch for me personally, but I liked it. I liked it. Anything labeled with their name would be mistaken for some sort of nuclear waste if the GZ letters weren't there. Yep. But no, I mean, they're in B. They got it. They deserved it. So here we go. This is the list. Chat, this is your last chance. So I'm going to put this end part in the video. So if you want to chat and be in the video, here's a chance. I'm going to like talk the end of the video. So there you go, guys. That's the tier list. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm crazy. Chat certainly does think I'm crazy. So let me know, what you disagreed with, what you agreed with, what you would do if you were going to make a tier list like this. In fact, I might post the link in the description so you can make this yourself if you're interested. And yeah, basically just, let me know your thoughts. Originally, I was going to make a bracket for this where I went through and went to the end and see which logo would win. But the tournament's already started, so I think we'll forego that. But here's the tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you did like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing is the #1 way to help my channel grow, and it helps you get notified when I put out a new video or go live. And if you want to be involved in these videos, again, I'm going to put the Discord link in the description. Get in the Discord. You'll be notified when I go live or when I put out videos. So I really appreciate it. With that said, we'll end the video here. So see you guys in the next video. All right, chat, we did it. Whew. Good job, chat. Check Discord. I can check it real quick. Oh, you did your own. It's not that. It's very similar. You didn't change. Oh, well, Limitless is too low. But yeah, yours is very similar. I don't know what you're so upset about. You're upset about Secret being like 2 or 3 tiers different. It's very similar. I think the biggest thing is we had almost the same top. So if we have all the similar ones at the top, then that's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, show it on screen? One second, one second. If you post yours, I'll show it as well. You have to post yours in the general chat of the Discord, then I can add it in. One second. Let me see if I can just do this. Ah, that worked. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this on stream. This is Foonies in the chat. This is Foonies tier list. Let me know how you think he did. I think I did better, but it's not bad, his one. I think we agreed on a lot of things besides Oxygen being so low, Limitless being so low. Other than that, it's very similar. Nothing I disagree with. Is there anyone else that posted one in the Discord? I don't see anyone else. So if you want to be shown, you got to post it in Discord quick, or I probably won't show it on stream. Oxygen is where it deserves to be. If you say so. Again, it's not even that crazy. I mean, where did I put mine? I put them A, and you put them... Okay, that is a 2-tier difference. That is a 2-tier difference, but still. Limitless is not awful. It's an infinity sign. Infinity is limitless. I like it. I like it. Optic V1 phase and BDS and D tier. Oh, well, welcome DLWW4 Rocket League. So this is a viewer's one. This is Foonies. But if you look at mine, I also had very similar. So I'm just going to explain it real quick. Well, let's start with Optic. It's too basic. I was saying earlier how I liked basic logos, but if your logo is just supposed to be an O and a G, although it's not really a G, but it's just too simple. It's too simple. It's not enough. And this is logos, by the way. Oh yeah, you're probably surprised. Sorry, I understand why you're so confused. It is. No wonder you're confused. It's logos. I probably should have put that in the title of the stream, but yeah, it's logos. Sorry. No wonder you're confused. But yeah, too simple. BDS is just weird. Phase is iconic, which gives it some credence, but it's just the letter of F, so I don't like it very much. And yeah, and then V1 again, just it's literally V1. Yeah. Alrighty, so and no worries, DLWW4. That's pretty much the end of the stream, so we're gonna do a wind down. We got to 312. I appreciate whoever subscribed. Thank you very much. I'm gonna change the view. And maybe let me copy this text over. We'll update the subscriber goal real quick. 312. Thank you guys. We got so far today. So I appreciate all the support, everyone that subscribed, everyone that stuck around, all the OG fans of the stream, and all the new people as well. I appreciate you all. And that's pretty much going to be the end of the stream today. But before I go, we'll do a little more chatting. This is so everyone that's new, I'm trying to start this thing where we just wind down. So for the next like 10 or so minutes, we're just going to talk, Gamers8. If you have anything you want to talk about. DLWW4 says Suz the worst. They're not terrible, but I do think they're going to lose their next series. I'm going to pull it up on my screen so I can see the bracket. Although I think I remember who they're playing. They play... Secret. Yeah, they're probably gonna lose to Secret. Most controversial. I feel you, Funi. Logos are always controversial. I should have realized. End of stream life quote. I already had one quote per day, guys. I'm not a life quote machine. Don't underestimate the coach or whatever I said. Something like that. Never count the coach out. That was it. Something like that. Crow man. He stepped up today. He stepped up. I am silly. Of course you're talking about the logo. No wonder. But yeah, Suz logo is the worst. Exactly. I said it. It's because it's not an org. It's just a team. But yeah. Let's see. Suspect says not a Rocket League one, though. It's just one for life. Oh, a life quote. I don't really have life quotes. Let me think. One I like, and this is very generic, but it's shoot for the moon so that if you miss, at least you'll land among the stars. And now, obviously, I shouldn't be giving life advice, but obviously, having big dreams doesn't always work out. But at least if you have big dreams, you improved yourself to try and reach them. And that self-improvement is almost always worth it. And you'll land somewhere better than you started, even if you don't get your dream. So definitely, I think it's worth trying to go for dream things in life. Whether that, oh, you've never heard that? I didn't make that up. That definitely already existed. But yeah, if you shoot for this moon and you miss, at least you land among the stars. So that's what I'm talking about. And I, no, I believe it. I definitely think, like I said, again, a lot of people like to say, aim for your dream because you could get it. And obviously, sometimes getting what you dream about isn't realistic, depending on what your dream is. But it always is worth trying to get there because, again, even if you don't make it to whatever you dream, like I think a big example in Rocket League is a lot of people want to be pros, and a lot of people are bubble players. And they never get to RLCS. That doesn't mean, and I see a lot of people say at the end of the day they think they wasted all their life, playing Rocket League, and I hate to see posts like that on Twitter. But at the end of the day, it's not a waste if you improved yourself in the process. Maybe some pros aren't, or bubble players aren't improving themselves, but if you were, for example, trying to grind to be a better Rocket League player, you shouldn't just be focusing on putting more hours into Rocket League. You should be focusing on learning how to practice, like learning how to practice more efficiently, because there are skills that you can translate from Rocket League to real life, crazy as it sounds. So that's an example, right? If you learn to practice more efficiently, that'll translate to studying more efficiently, working more efficiently in a job. There's just life skills you can learn doing anything, including Rocket League. And anyway, so just it's not bad to aim for a dream because you're improving yourself. Anyway, that was a pretty much a good. That was good. I'm actually glad you asked that question because I didn't expect to give life advice, but I feel like I can stand by what I said. I think your dream is to beat me in ones. Well, you two, Funi and Suspect, you certainly sure see. I'm stumbling over words. You can tell I'm tired. You guys certainly seem to be itching for that 1v1. So maybe we'll do that next stream. Tomorrow we are going to be doing, obviously, a recap for that day. But if you two are willing, 8:30 p.m. tomorrow, and if you can stick around till the end of the stream, obviously, or maybe we'll make it the start. We can start with a 1v1 if you guys really want. We'll do a best of 3. I don't want to draw it out too much, but we can do a best of 3, so it's not just one game. And you guys can do a 1v1 if you guys want. Okay. You guys asked for this. I know you weren't literally asking, but by the way you kept chatting about it, you were effectively asking for it. Tag me. If you're in the Discord, I'll say I'm going live. So that'll be the tag if you're interested, Hedge. Join the Discord and react to the live notifications. It's in rules. Okay, well, let's quickly look. Let me know what time it is, but what's it? 8:30 EST in what time zone are you? UK time. I'll just Google UK time. Well, that's 8:30 a.m. So it's 1:30 a.m. for you. Apparently, 1:30 a.m. So good luck. That's late, but if you're ready. Is this a challenge? Yeah, Funi. It is a show match. Sorry. Funi, I don't know if you heard, but if you and Suspect are both willing, it will be a best of 3. And in fact, I don't have a lot of things in Rocket League, but if you guys want to take one of my random limited items, which now that just sounds like such a poor prize, but I'm willing to give just give you guys a random item from a previous battle pass. Like I know some people like Overgrowth. If you like that goal explosion, I have multiple, so I'll give you one. Something like that, like one of those old. It's not battle pass. What do they call it? Rocket pass. One of the old rocket pass items. I have so many colored variants. It's a W prize. So yeah, pick one. It could be Overgrowth. Hopefully not. What's the one I use? Don't pick the pink one, but any of the other ones, any of the other colors. And it doesn't have to be that particular item. I have a bunch of them, so you'll see. All right, great. There we go. If I keep giving those out as prizes, we could last quite a while because I probably have like hundreds of limited items that are painted that I don't care a ton. I don't think I have the white one, but if I do, it is available because I said the only one I'm reserving is pink because I actually use it. I don't think I have the white one. In fact, I have Rocket League up, so I didn't mean to do this, but let's quickly check since we're talking about it. 1 second, I gotta get the view going. Here we go. Inventory, and then if I sort by just limited and then just painted, and then we'll do goal explosions. Okay, so these are the colors. I have pink favorited. I also use blue and red, but I'm willing to give them up. So you got the option of, because I know this is a popular one. You don't have to pick this one, but you got, if you did pick Overgrowth, I have blue, red, green, gray, or yellow, saffron, that I'm willing to give up. Not the pink one. And then what else? There's other cool ones. Some people like light show. I never use it. So literally you could take the titanium white light show or the black or crimson light show. What else? I have Kablooey. I have a lot of Kablueys. So Titan. Actually, no. I'll give it up. Titanium White Kablooey or any of the other ones. I don't use it anymore. I have it favorited, but I don't really use it anymore. Checkered Flag. I don't use that one. There's a lot of cool ones. Well, some people like Pew Pew. I don't have a bunch of them. It's not even called Pew Pew. It's called Yeehaw. I have Purple and Lime. Some of these old ones. There's also like cars, limited cars. I wouldn't mind giving up any of these. I literally never use these. So if you want any of these at all, even the Honda Civic, any of them. Anyway, enough about that. I stopped reading chat. Let me pull it back up. If I win, you get the item anyway, Funi. Well, yeah, you guys do whatever you want with the item. Nice. Oh, wrong view. Here we go. This is the view I'm looking for because we're ending the stream. So, rank check. I'm diamond or not. Well, I'm actually champ 1 right now, but I was diamond 3. I'm like barely in champ 1. Mr. Beast of Rock League, no, Syed, but I appreciate it. I don't have a ton of items. It looks like I have a ton because those rocket passes give you so many. So I have like 1,000 limited items, which I guess is a lot. But again, limited don't mean much. The only actual expensive items I have in Rocket League are Titanium White Zombos, which are worth something, and Interstellar decal. I have a pink Interstellar decal. I don't know how much that's worth anymore, but I know the Titanium White Zombos still have value. And I also have white cars, but almost all of my Titanium White cars were bought in the shop, so they're non-tradable. So I have a Titanium White Fennec, Dominus, and Octane, but all 3 were bought from the shop, so they're not tradable. Those are my only valuable items. Everything else is like, the free items. But anyway, enough about items. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because otherwise I am going to end the stream here. Oh, wow. Suspect putting up his own item. That probably has value. I don't know how much Black Standard is worth, but I'm sure it's worth something. Oh, he's down for a 2v1? All right. It's going to be a 1v1, but in the future, we'll do more events. This Hedge, maybe, I think this is your first stream. I do playing with viewers. I'm not going to do it for Gamers8. Maybe I will in the future, but not today or tomorrow. But I have done, and I will do more playing with viewers during the off season. It's 2,200 credits. Wow. Nice, Suspect. That's a big prize. That's the thing I'm putting up is not worth that much. In fact, I'm going to check how much Overgrowth is worth real quick. Overgrowth. Let's check here. I have to Google PC because it's giving me the wrong values. Oh, I'm on the wrong site. There we go. I use RL Insider, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I mean, overgrowths are worth anywhere from like 100, 200. Well, actually, about. I mean, the pink one I have is worth 90 credits. How much is Titanium White? So Titanium White Overgrowth is worth 250 to 350 credits. So yeah, they have value. So I'm giving away something, but it's not a lot. Not a lot. Let's quickly check. We are at 312. A great subscriber count to end it on. So I appreciate everyone for coming out. We did meet 2 goals in one day. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that we'll end it here. Let me see. Actually, I guess we just reached 1 goal, but it sure feels like we reached 2 goals. So I appreciate it. And yep. First stream, Hedge says, but your vids have been popping up and recommended. Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad you're watching the videos. That's where I'm putting most time in, but especially in this off season, I'm probably going to do more streams than videos, although I'm going to try and get at least 1 video out a week. And I have some ideas that'll work in the off season, but we'll see how far I can get into them. Do a 1K credit giveaway for PlayStation or I'll host it. Okay, Suspect. Not right away, but sometime in the off season, I'll probably, because we're going to do a 1v1 tournament, so that could be the giveaway for the tournament if you're interested. And I have some credits, but it's just not enough that I'm going to be giving away all the time. Credits. Give roles to new people. I will. Thanks for reminding me. But that's a good point to end. If you are interested in, seeing future live streams or being involved in a video or anything, or just playing, because when I play with viewers, join the Discord. I have the link pinned. I'll send it one more time. Let me quickly copy this and paste it one more time. Please do join the Discord. And if you're watching the VOD, I appreciate you as well. So check out the pinned comment for the invite to the Discord. Actually, it will be in the description. Check the description. And yep, thanks everyone for watching, no matter if you're watching live or after the fact. I appreciate your support as always. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. So tomorrow, tune in, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. You're going to have to check how that compares to your time. And same time as I did today, pretty much. And yeah, we'll basically be doing more recapping Gamers8 and now a 1v1 show match live on stream. So be on the lookout for that. That said, I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Have a good one.